B&A Petroleum is available for all your bulk fuel and lubricant needs, with propane at selected locations Monday to Friday. And don't forget, their Cardlock location is accessible 24 hours for your convenience. B&A Petroleum. Fuel you once, fuel you forever.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
On Rough Riders, plunge right through that line. March the ball on down the field, a touchdown every time. Oh, Rough Riders, fight on for your fame. Fight, fellows, fight, and we will win this game. Yeah!
Friday edition of the Sports Cage. Welcome. Thanks for making some time. Little on Rough Riders to get you going. What are we? A little over 24 hours. Let's call it 26 and a half hours from kickoff of the West Final tomorrow at Mosaic Stadium. Let's go. Giving out cowbells. If you didn't tune in yesterday, CKRM and the Riders. About 10,000 of those bad boys. Let's make it loud in there. No doubt about it. The weather is the topic as we go into tomorrow. And if you don't think it's the topic, go run around in a T-shirt for a bit right now. And tomorrow's going to be about twice as cold. We're going to talk a lot about the West Final coming up. We're going to hear from starting quarterback Trevor Harris in moments. Farhan Lalji from TSN is going to come in. We're going to talk about the Ryan Dinwiddie move. And we're going to go through both the West and the East Final. Eric Francis, we breathe on the football talk for a bit and talk some hockey with our NHL insider, Eric Francis. We're going to give away a couple of Pat tickets to tonight's game against Red Deer at some point. You'll get a cue to call on that. Hour 2, how about a little old 96er? Scott Schultz is going to come in and talk playoff football, the Riders and the Lions. We're going to have high school football, the 6A provincial final. It's going tonight. About 3 hours and 20 minutes time up in Saskatoon, the Holy Cross Crusaders and the Miller Marauders. We're going to hear from Miller's head coach in a bonus edition of Friday Night Lights. We'll also run down the other high school games if you missed it earlier this week. Also in hour 2, we are going to be joined on the Western Pizza guest hotline, like all of our guests, by Geno Lewis. Second time on the program. Ottawa Redblack receiver, great guy. Charismatic. We'll talk to Geno about the season, about Ryan Dinwiddie now in Ottawa, and we'll get him to handicap the West and East Finals for us. Hour 3, we'll go sprinkle of the day. We'll look into that. What an NFL game last night. I'll tell you about my wager there. Luke Mullinder will come in hour 3, give us the keys to the game, how he's shaping things up tomorrow, Lions and Riders. Then we're going to hear from Coach Mark McConkey of the Regina Rams in Saskatoon to take on the Huskies tomorrow. Hardy Cup. Hardy Bowl. Is it the bowl or cup? Hardy Cup. Make it a bowl, too. And then we'll run down more stuff on the Riders. It's a busy show. I'm all by myself. Colson's here, though, riding shotgun. And yes, text messages already. We are giving away our last 2 tickets to the West Final tomorrow. Anybody that texts today. Anybody. 936-6262. Even if you leave your name and number, you got to tell us where you're from. Okay, but throw 15 words out there on a comment about the game, about what you think. It's a great weekend for Saskatchewan football. Maybe you're invested in some of the high school ball. That's going to be played. Lemberg, Hafford, Clavette, Watrous, Lumsden, Humboldt, Johnson, Moose Jaw Central, and of course I mentioned it, Miller and Holy Cross Crusaders. Hey, shout out Prairie Girls Football League. The final there goes 2 p.m. Sunday at Leibel Field. Yorkton Moosomin going to throw down. The Prairie Girls Football League champion will be crowned. The home playoff game tomorrow, I was just reading this. The Riders sent this over. Heads up, if you're going to the game, I circled a few things here. The excitement kicks off early with the playoff pregame party in Confederation Park. From 4 to 5, fans can warm up by the fire pits. That is a good touch. Hey, grab a cocktail. $5 beer specials are on. Sit by the fire pit, mingle, maybe meet some new friends. Live music from the Others. Instead of an S, they have a Z there. I see what they did. They're going to be playing. Then the pregame entertainment inside Mosaic Stadium includes high performance from Rider Flow, setting the stage for an unforgettable game day experience. I love this part. Halftime show tomorrow, Night Train. Guns N' Roses tribute band. Let's go. Will they play Mr. Brownstone? My favorite Guns N' Roses song, Mr. Brownstone. Actually, no, November Rain. But that's a little slow. And what if it's raining and it's November at halftime? They got to crack out a little November Rain. It's a long song, too. You need a piano. Maybe they can get one of those for tomorrow. But we don't get the West Final every year, folks. So when you're kind of sitting around going, I might take the option. I don't know what time I want to go. I don't want to go early. This doesn't happen. Can we go back 3 years ago? Heck, go back COVID year when everything was canceled. And you were like, man, if I could just go and guzzle with my friends and go to a West Final or whatever it was. It's going to be awesome. Not an official sellout yet, Colson?
Not from what I'm seeing. I think they said there is hundreds of tickets left.
We're down to the nitty-gritty.
A few hundred specifically. And in the list you were reading off, it does say the first 10,000 fans get one of these cowbells.
That's a lot of cowbells. CKRM and the Riders partnering up there. Suck it, BC. We're going to be loud and annoying.
Be part of the crowd that makes it a rule, no cowbells.
Yeah. Tell your kids about that, your grandkids. I was at that game. I was one of the 10,000. Yeah. They never did bring back the Flame, eh? I thought they'd let the Flame in the stadium one more time, one more game. Put them out in the corner somewhere.
There's already enough insurance risks with the fireworks that are outside of the stadium. My one buddy is in pyrotechnics and does them for the stadium. Like, the number of guys he's had to almost tackle because they're just walking aimlessly into this field where there's fireworks.
Can people just not be stupid anymore? Like, we got to bubble wrap everybody?
You'd think. And not all of them are inebriated either. So some of them, it's just on them.
I love going to Montana in the summer. And I know a lot of people are like, ooh, America, bad America. I love it because they're just like, you want to be stupid, be stupid. We're not bubble wrapping you. Yeah. Here, we're a little bit different. I think the Flame, we should have brought him back. Maybe they'll allow him at the Grey Cup. Put him in the corner, light up the dome again. Shoot that thing out. Lots of fun. Okay, Rider audio here. Tomorrow, Trevor Harris, he was asked, I think AJ Ouellette's going to be huge. I think Thomas Bertrand-Hudon could be huge. Just my hot takes. Don't have to agree with me. Just got to, you got that gut feel. Cold, run them both, run them hard, run them often. Trevor talks about how big AJ Ouellette will be tomorrow.
That's why you get guys like AJ, right? And I remember hearing a whiff of us possibly getting him to come here, and I was like, man, maybe my son TJ was right and doing all these AJ Ouellette highlights from 2023, running around our living room, and had a conversation with him, and I just remember thinking, like, this is the guy you need. And AJ's an underappreciated running back in terms of people don't realize the other things he does aside from running downhill, and everybody just thinks he just runs people over. And even he's staying at my house right now. He tries to run me over in my house. He just can't help himself. But he's tremendous in pass protection as well. He's a really good receiver out of the backfield. He does a lot of little things for us, and he helps hold that room to a high standard as well. And so he's a leader in his room. He's great for our locker room, and just don't tell him I said all these nice things about him.
I want to know more about these bunking arrangements. Roommates, housemates. AJ's in with the Harrises. Is that a couch? Is it some sort of pull-out? Maybe a futon? What's he sleeping on?
He could be in the boys' room on one of the bunk beds.
Yeah, chilling with the boys. Video games at night. Go-go squeezes or whatever those things are called. Kids all eat. Awesome clip. Okay, these are some Dave said these ones were short. He's asked, what is the year-over-year difference in the team?
We're the big dogs.
That's it? 1 second.
That's all there is.
We're the big dogs. That's I'm going to challenge you and Shauna over there in production. She does amazing stuff. Colson and Shauna, can you quickly whip up that little bit into a song? I feel like that should be in some sort of techno music. Is it called EDM now?
I think those are two different genres, but I'm hearing what you're saying.
Can you play the clip again?
We're the big dogs.
Oh, yeah. That's got to go in a song. Let's get working on that. Trevor was also, just a short one, he's talking about going up against Nathan Rourke.
I'm not here to talk about Nathan Rourke. I think it's our time.
2 sound bites from T-Mobile today. Play that one again. That was so quick.
I'm not here to talk about Nathan Rourke. I think it's our time.
We got to get on this. We got to get some tunes. We got to get an anthem. We got to get some music going. I know I'm putting a lot on you, Colson and Shauna. You guys can make that happen. But meanwhile here, he does talk about going up against that BC defensive line.
Yeah, they have a really good D-line. Tavai, Betts, and 98 off the edge, and Hendricks, and they've got guys that can move around, and they've got great blitzers, Mike Hallway and Woods and Haladic, and they've got tons of guys that kind of move around, play well. Deontay's a heavy hitter, and so they've got guys that can bring pressure and do a lot of pressure things, and Benny does a good job mixing up his zones and pressures and personnels, and they keep you guessing. And so if you're not careful, they can really make you hurt. And so it's on us to make sure that we're being efficient, staying on the field. Obviously, we're going to want to run the football. That's why you have AJ here, and our offensive line's been tremendous all year. And so we just got to keep them guessing, keep them off balance, but also understand how we can kind of use our game plan to kind of hurt defenses, whether it be run the football, stretch the field horizontally, vertically, use play action, use intermediates, get the ball out of our hands quick, take our shots when we need them. That sort of thing. It's just about keeping them guessing, and hopefully we can combat what they do and get the ball rolling.
936-6262, Prairie Land Rentals text line. Prairie Land Rentals, anything you need for that fall or winter job coming up. Maybe you need to rent a heater, a power tool, whatever. They're also the Husqvarna snow thrower dealer in the city. 600 Albert Street, deal with the owner. Let us know. Tickets, we're giving them away. West Final. We got a number of people already. Some people are sticking to the 15 words. Brandon's just saying, go Riders, go. He's not funny. Nathan's just leaving his name and number. How about a little Dean? I'm stoked that it's going to be cold for those BC Lions. I'm hoping it's going to be loud. Dean from Regina. I don't need tickets. I'm going already. Attaboy, Dean. Thanks for shouting out. Barry wants the Rider tickets. Go Riders, go. Doug out in Crake. He left us a voicemail or something. We'll have to do that and break. It's not that I don't trust you, Doug. It's just that I don't trust you. I'm not gonna play it. Some great clips from Trevor Harris. Do you, Shauna, work some magic? As we go to break? Do you have any music for us?
We got some quick here.
Okay, let's go to break. Some what is it? Techno.
Tecmo.
Okay,
We'll see.
Here we go. Trevor Harris.
We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
Ready to raise your shower game? Rent a water heater and water softener together from Reliance Heath and turn every shower into a spa-worthy experience. Right now, when you rent a new water heater and water softener together, you'll get $400 back, sent by check after installation. Why settle for meh when you can upgrade your whole home's water and get big cashback savings? Don't miss out on this limited time offer.
Call on Reliance.
Call on Reliance Heath today.
This fall, the eyes of Canadian university football turn to Regina. The University of Regina, City of Regina, and U Sports proudly host the 60th anniversary of the Vanier Cup, Saturday, November 22nd at Mosaic Stadium. It's the first time Regina welcomes this historic championship, showcasing the best in Canadian university football. Tickets start at just $10 for youth and students, $20 for adults, and kids under 5 are free. That's Saturday, November 22nd, Mosaic Stadium. Get your tickets now at vaniercup.com.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
It's time to get the inside story. TSN's Farhan Lalji on Sportscage is brought to you by the Cooperators. Time to get financially fit? Cooperators can build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Farhan, here we go. What a weekend for football in Sasky. Right, we got the Riders, we got Rams and Huskies, the Hilltops, Okanagan, high school football provincial finals, female league final. Great time to be alive, but it's going to be cold, Farhan. It is going to be chilly, especially tomorrow night when that sun goes down. BC rolling in here. Do you think, I'm going to ask you because you live out there, and we had some people text us yesterday, do you think weather will be a factor?
Weather's only a factor if the home team gets out to a lead, right? Like cold gets colder when it gggets like that and you're behind and now the crowd is into it and you feel like you've got to do a little bit more and all of those other things. That's when weather makes it an issue. When you get hit, you just feel it like that a little bit more. So for BC, the early stages of this game are really going to matter. Like if they can stay right in the game, even play with a small lead, all of that takes the weather away. I think the crowd is going to be a bigger factor than the weather, but it's all a factor if you fall behind early.
James Butler looks to be a game-time decision. Do you got any intel there?
Yeah, he'll play. We have a joke out here from Trevor Linden in 1994 where Jim Robson said, he'll play, he'll play. He'll play on crutches. So that's a famous saying out here in Vancouver. So he'll play. Last week what happened was he didn't practice at all Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday he kind of did the pain management thing just to see how it would work for game day. And then he wound up playing this week. He didn't practice at all because he didn't feel the need to do that on the Thursday. He actually feels better now than he did a week ago. So do I think he's 100%? No, but 100% he's going to play regardless of how he's listed.
How is BC going to maybe weather the storm? What do you expect from them and maybe jump out to that lead like you talk about?
I think they're going to have to be aggressive, but at the same time, you've got to manage that with trying to win on first down. So I think offensively, they're going to have to find a way to move the pocket. I think they're also going to have to try to find a way to get some inside pressure on Trevor Harris and potentially, rather than give him some easy lanes to step up, they're going to have to try to work him to the edges, or maybe he's not as effective. The one thing Trevor does is get the ball out quick, and he doesn't necessarily push the ball downfield. He's capable of pushing the ball downfield. He's just not asked to a lot because of the offense. But, from BC's side, they've got to be better offensively. They haven't been good in the first half of their last 3 games. They've got to find a way to, I get everybody assumes that when you play in cold weather, you just got to run the ball, and you have to run the ball, and you have to pound your head up against the ball and ensure that you can run the ball. I'm just not sure that's the best way to play, because it will mean that in the early stages of this game, BC is going to be in 2nd and 8 and 2nd and 9 all the time. That can't happen. So they have to move the pocket and be a little more aggressive on first down to get where they need to go.
How are they going to protect Nathan Rourke? Do you expect anything special there, or just out physical, man-on-man kind of thing? Because the Riders obviously are going to be coming.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. They have to move the pocket, because where the Lions are most vulnerable is their interior offensive line. Like the right guard is really struggling. The center's been okay. The right tackle's been okay. Left side's pretty good. But they need to find a way to protect that interior offensive line, and that means move the pocket. That means do some Trevor Harrison, get the ball out of your hands quick, get into the RPO game. But so I do think you're going to see a change of approach there, because I think if they want Nathan Rourke to get into a 5-step drop game, which isn't really what they do anyway, they're going to have problems, because the reason BC's offensive line has been by far the best in terms of preventing sacks is the quarterback and just how he manipulates defenses.
What as a coach, a football coach here, which team do you think's got more cards tucked into that chest that they haven't shown yet? Any surprises? Maybe is there a screen game element, a lot of bubble screens? Are we going to see some trick plays? Do you see either side maybe being a little more prone to that?
Well, I think the Lions have a little more available to them that they haven't done, only because I think Saskatchewan has done more. Like that's not a shot. I just think that when you look at Mark Mueller, there's a little more variety in his package. The Lions don't do a lot of screen game. That could happen here if they want to protect the quarterback a bit. I don't know that either of these guys has necessarily built a lot on trick plays, right? I mean, I think there's some misdirection elements that Buck Pierce has in his offensive repertoire that he hasn't used yet, that I think he can use more of. But I don't think you can gimmick your way to this, especially if you're BC, because Saskatchewan's defense is just too good.
A lot of people earlier in the week are talking about special teams, and the Riders were pretty good. They didn't give up any kind of return touchdown this year. Playoff game, weather maybe being a lot, up in the air and cold. Special teams definitely could be a factor.
Yeah, and I think the Lions are really good there, right? And you're not going to have Alford playing for Saskatchewan in this game. BC's special teams have really, really gotten better as the season has progressed. And this place for the last 4 years has been a black hole on special teams. So, BC's got an outstanding puncher in Meyer in terms of accuracy. I mean, we know Saskatchewan's problems with the field goals this year. So Sean White might not have the range, but he's a more accurate kicker, and you can believe in him more. But if you look at BC's game last week, 13 points came directly off their return game and cover teams, right? So they opened the game with a long return. BC doesn't pick up an additional first down. Sean White gets a field goal. That's all the return team. Then they get the fumble. They get the kick return touchdown. Again, all special teams. Then they get the fumble. BC doesn't get a first down off the fumble. They kick a field goal. It's 13 points of BC's 33 last week that came directly off their teams, and their cover teams were really good, and they weren't taking penalties to put themselves into deep situations for starting field position. So I like BC's special teams, and believe me, I haven't said that at all since the beginning of the Rick Campbell era. So it's shocking for me to actually feel that.
Do you know something that we don't? Because it says Alford's playing.
Okay, maybe I'm getting that wrong. Maybe I'm earlier in the week and I've looked at it incorrectly.
Okay, yeah, and we're scaring me. I'm like, what does Farhan know that I know?
Actually, yeah, he's listed as a designated American. My apologies.
Okay.
I'm just visualizing it, and he's in there. You're right.
We're good. Okay, and I know there's a lot of Sportscage listeners that are going, what?
My apologies, Regina. I'm picking Sask to win, so there's no conspiracy theory here. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, let's go to the other side. What do you think happens in the East? How are you looking at that one? I find that poor Hamilton Tiger Cats over the last week have been getting no respect, Rodney Dangerfield style.
I'm going to add to that. I picked at the start of the year Montreal to beat Saskatchewan in the Grey Cup, and I'm sticking with it. Davis Alexander is outstanding. I think he and Nathan Rourke are the top two quarterbacks in the league right now. Chad Kelly's health notwithstanding, and I know that Bo's had a good year. But, their offense was much better the first half of the season than the second. Montreal's an entirely different team with Davis Alexander at quarterback, and weather won't be a factor. Crowd could be a little bit of a factor, but I just think that team is so much better. Montreal is when Davis is their quarterback. He makes all three phases better, and he can beat you a lot more ways than Bo can. So, Bo's going to get his, but I both sides of the ball. Like I even like, what I've seen the last few weeks from Montreal's defense outside of that little 5-minute stretch, which was really turnover rated, right? It wasn't that they got gashed over and over. It was turnover rated and then a couple of big plays. I just think Montreal is the most complete team, and they're playing the best football right now.
Not a lot of people had Ryan Dinwiddie to Ottawa as the GM head coach. I didn't hear any rumblings of that. What do you make of that? When did you find out? What do you think of it?
Yeah, I'd heard last week that I think we've heard for a while that there were some issues going on between coaching and management in Toronto, and that there wasn't necessarily a lot of alignment there. I didn't know where that would take them because largely prior to this year they've been successful. And if you're Mike Pinball Clemens and you're going to continue to remain GM in title, you need John Murphy. Now, I got a ton of respect for Ryan Dinwiddie. I think he's the best play caller in the CFL, and I love Mark Mueller, and Scott Milanovich in those areas. Don't get me wrong, but for me, Ryan Dinwiddie's the gold standard as a play caller. So, and that's really important, right? Like Nick Arbuckle doesn't do what he did without Ryan Dinwiddie as his play caller. So I didn't think it would get to the point where he'd all of a sudden take a job elsewhere, but I knew there were some issues there and there wasn't any alignment. And then things kind of moved fast. Like, he went to MLSC. They weren't necessarily going to give him what he wanted. And then they gave him permission to talk to Ottawa. And next thing you know, they didn't get a right of refusal or a second conversation. He just took the job in Ottawa with the promotion and the GM title attached. So heard rumblings last week, but I am surprised it got to this point.
I think massive flags right there when you don't even give your employer a chance to rebuttal or counteroffer. You want out, I think. Okay, well, writing's on the wall. Maybe that's just me. Anybody I know that switched jobs like that, it's like they didn't want to be at their old place. That's okay. Let's end with a little NFL. What's your game of the week there?
You got to give me some options. Throw some at me.
Philly Packers.
Yeah, I was looking at that, going into it because I'm trying to get a sense. Like, both teams have been wildly inconsistent this year. Right when we expect the Packers to take that next step, and really build like off that game against the Steelers last week or 2 weeks ago, then they stubbed their toe, right? And then when you look at Philadelphia and the struggles they had to start the year with Barkley not getting it going run-wise, with the passing game not being there, A.J. Brown being invisible, and then they start putting a couple of games together, and then they made some moves at the deadline. I want to see which team can sustain. You even look at Kansas City. We thought everything was rounding into form. They played Buffalo, they lost. But people still think they're kind of ascending. I love what Seattle's doing. But in terms of an actual matchup, I think Green Bay Philly is a pretty compelling one.
How would you like to be given the assignment, Cleveland and New York Jets?
The toilet bowl.
Yeah, really. Definitely take the option on that. All right, my man.
I was supposed to go to Seattle and Arizona on Sunday, but that got changed just because there's a Canucks game that day, and then we all leave the next day for Grey Cup in Winnipeg. But I would have preferred to have gone to the football game, no doubt. And it's interesting to see what's going on in Arizona with Kyler Murray kind of benched but not benched, right? And just how good Seattle is, because I've said this on this show before. They've gone from NFC dark horse to legitimate contender the way they're playing on both sides of the ball right now.
Okay. Let's maybe end on this then. Legitimate contender. Indianapolis Colts. Are they for real now with Sauce?
Absolutely. I mean, I think they were a legitimate contender before that. Now, look, you still got to find a way to get through Kansas City and Buffalo, right? And those are the teams. And I don't know that the best of Indianapolis is better than the best of those teams, especially Kansas City. But yeah, they're legit. I mean, they're going to scare a lot of teams and have the ability to go deep. Like this is last year's Washington Commanders, right? They are legit. And if they wind up losing in an AFC title game, you're going to look at them and say, whoa, like we need to pay attention to this team for quite a while. Like that's a complete group, right? Like when you look at all the weapons they've got, from Danny Dimes to Jonathan Taylor to Tyler Warren to, other pieces in their receiving core and how their D's playing, like that's a legit team. At some point, I think experience will trip them up against one of the big two, but they're legit. And with Washington, they were a ripe candidate for regression. Dimes and Danny Dimes and Jonathan Taylor and a lot of these players aren't kids, right? They're meaningfully in their prime. So they'll be here for a while. They're not going to regress fast.
I can't believe you're calling Danny Dimes offensive weapon. It's like, what happened in the last 12 months? It's
right.
It's wild to watch.
And I wasn't a believer. I never was. From the moment he got drafted, I predicted everything that was going on with the Giants. I just never thought he was that good. He has proved me wrong, and it just shows you that NFL quarterbacks take a while to develop, and they are rarely given the time to do so.
All right. We'll end it on that. Travel safe next week. We do this from you'll be in Winnipeg live. I won't be there, but we can do this.
I was really going back and forth on coming to Regina this weekend, but my son has a playoff game tonight. I didn't want to miss it, but I know Regina is going to be the place to be this weekend, and Winnipeg will be a lot. Like everybody in the Grey Cup committee, like they want Sask there because they know when the Riders win and the way Saskatchewan travel, just how much fun a Grey Cup is.
It will be. All right. Catch up next week. Good luck to you and your boy tonight.
Thanks, pal.
Right on. Farhan Lalji joining us here on the Sports Cage, and his segment is brought to you by the Cooperators. They can build a plan that works for you. Time to get financially fit with the Cooperators. We'll go to break. We're going to take a breath from the football talk. I see the text messages. I know you want to win those tickets. Let them fly. We're going to talk some hockey with Eric Francis. It's the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM.
Hey, farmers and ranchers, do you want the next generation to know and care more about agriculture? Donate to the Acres for Education campaign by Agriculture in the Classroom Saskatchewan to help get students out of the classroom to experience agriculture. This year, every dollar donated will be matched up to $25,000 thanks to JGL, so your gift will make twice the difference. Donate at aitc.sk.ca/Acres for Education.
Thank you, Rider Nation. The Riders Foundation 50-50 jackpots have been massive this season, and it's all thanks to you. When you buy your 50-50, you're supporting amateur football across the province. It's playoff time, and like the games, the 50-50 gets bigger in the playoffs. Can we get it to $1 million, Rider Nation? Maybe higher. Don't get hit with regret. Buy your 50-50 tickets at riders5050.ca and go Riders.
Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC. Lottery license LR250011.
All the farmland and equipment you could need are available at auction this fall with Ritchie Brothers. A wide variety of farmland auctions across Western Canada will begin in earnest in October and run into December to get you ready for the next season. With new parcels of land and equipment continually added to their inventory, make sure to visit their website so you never miss an opportunity. Head over to rbauction.com to get started. Again, that's rbauction.com.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Have you ever tried convincing a 1,000-pound animal to walk half a mile for a drink? Yeah, good luck with that. Cows aren't moving, and frankly, they don't care about your schedule. So instead of turning your pasture into a full-blown cattle negotiation summit, install a Keln solar livestock watering system. You can drop a pump just about anywhere. No grid, no trenching, no drama. So let the cows chill. You move the water. Keln Solar. They move water because your cows won't. Visit kelnsolar.com.
Now for Inside the NHL with Eric Francis on the Sports Cage. Inside the NHL is brought to you by Sports Select. Getting in on more of the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer.
Okay, sorry. We apologize. He's not on video today because he's out and about. He's grinding, getting things done. He's joining us from his vehicle. I've driven in this Skoda with Eric Francis. Our NHL insider is joining us. So have you come down that Kadri night. We talked about it on Wednesday. Then I watched it on TV. Fitting that he scores. What an event, Eric. Being there must have been off the charts. Seeing him play his 1,000th.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I thought the Flames did a nice job. I think everything about it was perfect, and he said as much after the game himself. I mean, he thought it was really cool that the silver stick was the same pattern as his actual stick. He didn't know that. He just thought he was going to get a big, thick piece of silver, but it's actually the pattern of his stick. It's a whole lot heavier. He wasn't ready for that. And his daughter got one too, a little mini one. And she was whipping around the rink, just dropping it and throwing it, and probably Mom was cringing every time. But that's okay; it's her stick. So, and then the little girl, it kind of went viral. His daughter read the starting lineup, and those moments are always pretty cool. But this one seemed especially kind of anyone who's got a daughter or a son and could picture themselves in that position. You could see why he was a little misty-eyed after that one.
I saw the putters. You talked about the Scotty Cameron putters that he gave to all of his teammates. And then when you guys were doing your hit, you actually had video of it. Those were a lot nicer than I thought. They were engraved with the K and the 1,000th thing. Well done.
Yeah. I mean, with teammates like that, I don't know. You bought me nachos. I don't. It's kind of not the same thing. But, Jonathan Huberdeau laughed. He goes, it's kind of weird that he's buying us gifts. Like that's not really the way it's supposed to work. The necklace that the players all chipped in and bought him had a whole lot of diamonds, and I'm not a gemologist, but I could only imagine how much the number 1,000 just filled with diamonds on his necklace cost the team. But yeah, kind of that's a big league gift exchange, boys. Scotty Cameron's for a diamond necklace. I'm in for that anytime someone wants to do that if you want.
And for the record, you bought the nachos. You actually picked up that tab. You were confused as to why you were, but I was like, fine. That's all right. Maybe it's because I'm in Calgary. You got all that Calgary money. I'm okay with that. Why does it make sense for the Flames this year to trade Kadri?
Well, you got to cash in on him at some point, and obviously this team's not going to win anytime soon, so that's the obvious, easy argument. And he is their greatest trade chip. There's no question about it. He's their best player. And at $7 million a year because of the way the cap's gone, that is an extremely palatable number for a second-line center on any team and a first-line center on the Flames. So, that's, given that this season's a write-off in terms of making the playoffs, the obvious knee-jerk reaction is, okay, start cashing out and getting some younger guys in. I get that. But the flip side of that is that he's your best player. And you also have to preserve the culture in a dressing room and have some semblance of winning in your room, moving forward. You can't just, there's a large contingent of people in this city that are on Team Tank that just want this team to win 10 games this year and have the best shot at Gavin McKenna in the draft lottery. But it's just not as simple as that. And look, I'm all for them trying to get that number one draft pick. Don't get me wrong. I think it's the smartest move they can make now to salvage this terrible season. But I just don't know if now's the time to trade Nazem Kadri. And, Murray Edwards, the owner, has now been it's been reported that he's saying there's no way we're trading Nazem Kadri. I can tell you from talking to management, they have no desire to trade Nazem Kadri anytime soon. The question to me is, will he come to them and say, guys, I love my time in Calgary, but I want to go win again, and maybe force their hand? That would be the only scenario with which they would trade Nazem Kadri this year.
Okay, we're sending you to Toronto. No, I said I want to go win again. That would be Montreal, right? Could be a good landing spot for him. I guess we can talk more about that as we go along. I want to get your take on the Team Canada jersey reveal. If you're watching the stream, I think Colson's going to throw it up here. There's a black, a red, and a white Team Canada jerseys for the Olympics. I think the women are wearing the same as the men. Obviously, they were just talking about the men. You had a chance to look at them, Eric. What do you think of those jerseys?
Well, I love the way they did the reveal. They basically just showed us the way they revealed it to the actual players at that orientation camp. So I love that. I think they look great. Look, I'm not a huge jersey guy. Like I get mad when a team goes sideways on it. You know, I think that they look really good. They're really classic. They're classy. They're clean. They're crisp. I don't know. Those are about the only words I'd use to describe what I'm looking for in a Team Canada jersey. I don't want them going off the board. I don't want them trying new things. I want the maple leaf on the front. I want red. I want white. I like black too, but the red and white, they're classic, crisp. I got no problem with it. Like, what are you hearing from people? I can't imagine there's anybody who's like up in arms over them.
Oh, no, there's obviously some people that's like, oh, I don't like those jerseys. What are they doing? It's like, come on. They, like you said, I think the kids use the word clean and crisp. Yeah. They slap. The kids would say, you know what would have been cool? If somehow, some way, remember back in the 87 Canada Cup or 88, how we had the white jersey. We had the red too with the maple leaf, but they had blue pants. I always thought that was weird that Canada wore blue pants in that.
That was a bizarre stretch. Yeah, I do believe that. Was that 87? I was there in 87.
Yeah, Hamilton.
Was like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. And, yeah, that was a little bit of a departure. And, look, the first time they wore the black jerseys, that was a big shocker for a lot of people. But I think we've grown to really appreciate and like them. And they're intimidating. And, you know, that I think every team has to have a black jersey, don't they? Don't all the studies say that teams win way more when they wear black? It's more intimidating.
I think you're making that up.
You know, I'm pretty sure I saw a study. It wouldn't have been a scientific one, but anyway, it was all in vogue at one point in time, and so I think that the leaf, if I were to use a word, I'd say it pops. Like, it looks almost three-dimensional to me on the new jersey, and that's what I really do like that as well. So, look, I tried to buy. I ranted with you guys. I took my son to the Four Nations in Montreal, and we went early for the first game to buy a jersey because you couldn't get them online. They didn't make them available at Christmas. They totally screwed up that whole tournament marketing-wise. There were no jerseys to be had. We lined up an hour before the show, or before the first game. We get in there, and the only jerseys left were Sam Montembeault, which was kind of surprising because it was in Montreal, but nobody wanted the third goalie, his jersey. You could not buy a Four Nations jersey. I want to make sure I get one for my son for Christmas, for the Olympics, and I'm pretty sure they're going to make sure they're readily available. They're not going to make the same mistake as the PA made last time.
Okay, I want to end with this. Big weekend in Sask when it comes to football. CFL, obviously the Riders hosting the BC Lions. The one thing tomorrow, at halftime, it's going to feature the thrilling Old Dutch kick to win contest, where one lucky fan will attempt a 50-yard field goal for an incredible $500,000 prize. I know a lot of people didn't listen when we were just pioneering this relationship when you were on our show, but what's the story quickly in 30 seconds or a minute where you kicked at halftime and won a hot tub?
I won $50,000 at a Stamps game. And it was a contest they'd been running for a decade in Calgary. One lucky fan would be drawn at a sporting goods store, and then he'd have all week to practice if he wanted. He'd go out, kick it with his toe, it'd go 5 yards, everybody would boo. And so I kind of approached him and said, look, I've never played football, but I played pretty good level soccer. Like, I think I could miss it left, right, maybe a little short, but at least I'm not going to get booed. Anyway, they rigged it up, so I kicked on behalf of a fan who missed right before me. And it was during a TV timeout, live on TSN. I hooked it through from 48 yards from the sideline, too, which made it even a little harder. But put it right through, $150,000. The arrangement was if I got it, I'd give $25,000 to the fan and $25,000 to charity. So I didn't think there was anything in it for me. If I did, I probably would have kicked it 5 yards and got booed. But I ended up getting a tax receipt for like $13,000-14,000, and when you're 26 years old, that's like winning the lottery. So I ran out and bought the biggest, most expensive hot tub I possibly could. And every time I soaked in it, I thought of that kick, and we'd laugh, and it's good. And I've been a hot tub guy ever since. And so when I see this old Dutch thing, I just go, yeah, well, whatever. I can kick that with my left foot. Just give me a shot. Just put me in, coach.
Oh, what a way to end the week. Great story. I love it. That one never gets old. All right, my man. Have a good one. What's up?
I have to add, sorry. Yeah, I did parlay that into a tryout with the Hamilton Tiger Cats the next year. But that's a story for another day. And I played 2 games in the CFL, retiring with the highest kicking percentage in CFL history, 1-for-1. We'll tell that story maybe on Wednesday.
Didn't you say you have some video that we could run on that?
I'll send it to you now. I always have that ready. That's one of my favorite videos in the world. Ronnie Lancaster was my coach. Yeah, it was a good time. Okay, we'll share that one on Wednesday.
All right, buddy. Have a good weekend. We'll catch up next week.
See you, man. Cheers.
Inside the NHL with Eric Francis. Always a blast. Brought to you by SportsSelect.com. Right now, nowadays, you can just simply make your picks online. You get to generate a QR code, then you can lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. They scan it, prints out the ticket. If not, you can still do the old fill out the slip thing like I do. The other thing, too, check out the futures. One thing a lot of people don't know about Sports Select these days, the future bets. And when we were talking to Farhan there, Colson, I went on to Sports Select, and I was like, I wonder where Indianapolis is on the futures to win the Super Bowl. But you can bet them to win the AFC if that's what you want. $9.75 they're paying. So if you're a Colts fan, you want to take some of that action, sportselect.com, you can get the QR code. You can play a future, put down what you want, and there you go. You got your Colts locked in. All right, we're going to come back. I think we got more Trevor Harris clips and more Trevor Harris techno music. I don't even think it's called techno anymore. If you didn't catch us at the start of the show, it's pretty fun. And then keep the text messages coming for the tickets, 936-6262. If you want to win our last 2 West Final tickets, we're giving them away today. Colson's documenting everything. He's got them in his hands. We just want you to text in. If you want to let us know what you think about the game, the weather, how it's going to go down, you can do that as well, but leave your name, number, and where you're from. It's a Sports Cage. We're going to come back, Sports Ticker, and a whole lot more. Streaming at our YouTube channel, sportscage.com.
Listen weekdays at noon for Saskatchewan Today on CKRM with your host, Ryan Young, offering the most extensive agricultural news coverage with precision weather meteorologists in an industry that moves fast. Stay updated with the latest, most reliable information in ag news, crisis and trends, all in one place. Available anytime at SaskagToday.com. Saskag Today, your trusted source for all things agriculture. Sponsored by Affinity Credit Union on 620 CKRM.
Back to our regular spot, Pump Jacks Cathedral.
You know, I thought Pump Jacks was a kind of boot polish till last month.
What are you getting?
Kerwin's crispy ribs and a cold pint of local craft. Crispy, meaty, beautiful.
You had me a meaty.
Plus, we got live music on the weekends, big screens. This place is basically my second marriage.
And way cheaper than the first.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
This fall, the eyes of Canadian university football turn to Regina. The University of Regina, City of Regina, and U Sports proudly host the 60th anniversary of the Vanier Cup, Saturday, November 22nd at Mosaic Stadium. It's the first time Regina welcomes this historic championship, showcasing the best in Canadian university football. Tickets start at just $10 for youth and students, $20 for adults, and kids under 5 are free. That's Saturday, November 22nd, Mosaic Stadium. Get your tickets now at vaniercup.com.
When it takes
It's marked down to move. Get up to 21 grand off select new 2025 Ram 1500s. And get up to 18 grand off select new 2025 Jeep Wranglers. Do not miss your chance to get massive savings. It's year-end clearance only at Crestview Chrysler.
Heater rentals. Bundle and save with Reliance Heath. Rent a new water heater and softener together and get $400 cash back. Call on Reliance Heath today.
Riders releasing the depth chart for tomorrow's West Final. Keyshawn Johnson, Ajoa Joe, Philippe Gagnon, Mitchell Picton among those that are out tomorrow. Team White, Canada, Maddox Schultz and Liam Pugh, they are in tough. They're down 7-6 to the Americans late in the third period at the U17 World Challenge. Later, it's Canada Red with Chase Serkan from Regina up against Czechia. Western Hockey League tonight in town. Regina Pats welcome the Red Deer Rebels. You want to go to that game right now, 936-6262. We have a couple of tickets for you. Other Sasky teams playing. Moose Jaw's in Saskatoon. Swift Current welcomes Calgary, and Prince Albert is in Spokane. SJHL, Kindersley at Warman, Weyburn and Melville in Weyburn, 7 p.m. Good one there. And Yorkton is at the Battleford. Saskatchewan Junior Female Hockey League regular season. Taylor Toyota Lynx and the Regina Wild, 8:15 puck drop. Prairie Junior Hockey League. Pilot Butte Storm is in Carrot River, 7:30. Fort Knox and Moosomin in Moosomin, 8 p.m. And Jason Ackerman lost his early game today at the Canadian Mixed Curling Championships in Assiniboia. It takes on Manitoba this evening. In Hour 1, it's brought to you by Bundle and Save with Reliance Heath. Rent a new water heater and softener together and get $400 in cash back. Call on Reliance Heath today. Okay, we had some fun earlier. If you didn't catch the start of the show, Colson, can we play both of those? Oh, okay, we can't play them. We had a couple of Trevor Harris clips that are funny. Colson's going to give me the thumbs up when we have a chance to play them again. Playoff game. So if you're wondering, tomorrow, as I understand it, the Rams and Huskies game, if you're going to be going to the stadium maybe a little bit earlier, they won't be having it on the Jumbotron. This is a CFL game. They take it over from the Riders. So the way I understand it, don't expect to go there maybe and have the Rams-Huskies game on. You'll be able to listen to that, obviously, right here on 620 CKRM. But it's going to be buzzing tomorrow, maybe a little bit chilly, but Confederation Park from 4 to 5, they're going to have fire pits and warm up around the fire pit. $5 beer specials are going to be going, pregame entertainment, and then at halftime, I mentioned this earlier, Night Train, the Guns N' Roses tribute band will be playing. That'll be fun. First 10,000 fans through the gates. That's right. You get a 620 CKRM cowbell. 10,000 of those. That's awesome. So, BC, you're going to be annoyed. That is all right. Anything, Colson, yet? All right. And I'm looking at the forecast, because I've been looking at it more probably than ever on tonight. Looks like we're going to get some flurries this evening, but tomorrow evening, we talked about this yesterday. We're going to dress warm, right? Now it's saying at the coldest part tomorrow evening, minus 19. Feels like minus 24. I don't think it'll be that at kickoff. Minus 5 in the afternoon, minus 10. And then up in Saskatoon, we're going to be joined by Mark McConkey a little bit later in the show. We had Mason Nias on the program yesterday for the Hardy Cup Saskatoon forecast tomorrow afternoon. It is calling for minus 7 now. So we were sitting about minus 3, minus 4 tomorrow, so it's going to dip down. It's going to be a little bit colder tomorrow if you're heading up to Saskatoon to watch that one, and then high school football around the province. The 6A provincial final goes tonight up in Saskatoon, 6:30 kickoff. We should have been broadcasting this game. Miller Marauders, Holy Cross Crusaders for the provincial final. We're going to be joined by Miller's head coach in hour 2. We'll go through that game. Got to give some love to the other high school games going on around the province this weekend. Lemberg, they've been a wagon all year against the perennial power in Hafford. That's 2 p.m. in the town of Hafford tomorrow. Clavette is at Watrous, 2A 6-a-side provincial final. That one in Watrous, 1 p.m. 4A 9-a-side. Lumsden. We expected Lumsden to be there. They're going to be in Humboldt. 1 p.m. for the 9-a-side championship. We talked to Johnson's head coach yesterday, 5A 12-a-side. 1 p.m. Guthridge Field in downtown Moose Jaw. Johnson and Moose Jaw Central. And we got to give some love to the Prairie Girls Football League final. That goes Sunday at Libel, 2 p.m. Yorkton and Moosomin. All right, quickly, the Trevor Harris clips. Which one do you want to play? Listen to Trevor and how. Sorry, what's that again? Okay, Colson said he's made some fun stuff here. Trevor Harris clips as we go into break. Hour 2. We got Scott Schultz coming up. High school football and a whole lot more. Here we go.
We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs.
I'm not here to talk about Nathan Rourke. I think it's our time.
We're the big dogs.
I think it's our time.
We're the big dogs.
It's our time.
We are the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Corey Atkinson from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news. Win or lose, tomorrow is the last home game of the season for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The BC Lions are in town for the CFL West Final at Mosaic, and there's the usual smattering of pre-game activities. Karina Peterson with the Riders says they want Rider Nation to be loud with their giveaway.
We're handing out 10,000 Harvard Media cowbells. There one is. That's right. So make sure you come on early and get your cowbell as you go through the gates. That's really exciting for us. Get that home field advantage.
We'll have pre-game coverage of the CFL West Final for you starting at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. Dave Thomas and Luke Mullinder will have the game call for you at 5:30. Saskatchewan RCMP have charged a male youth with first-degree murder after an adult man was found injured in a Whitewood home and later died in hospital. Police say they received the report at around 4 p.m. on November 6th, and Broadview RCMP responded to the residence. The injured man was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The youth was arrested at the scene and was also taken to hospital as a precaution before being placed in custody. His identity cannot be released under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. The Saskatchewan RCMP Major Crimes Unit has charged a woman after 3 men were found dead at a rural property north of Turtleford. Police were called at around 12:30 p.m. on November 5th and found the men with serious gunshot injuries. EMS pronounced them dead at the scene. Officers later arrested a 25-year-old woman from Thunderchild First Nation. She is charged with second-degree murder in the death of 28-year-old Tonio Cantel of Island Lake First Nation. Police say they do not believe there are more victims or suspects. The federal Conservative House leader says that the Liberals are pressuring Conservative MPs to try to manufacture a majority. Andrew Scheer made the comments following Alberta MP Matt Genereux's resignation on Thursday.
I believe that Matt Genereux has had to make this decision known earlier because of these Liberal pressure tactics.
Scheer says that Canadians did not give Mark Carney a majority, so the Prime Minister is trying to do it himself through intimidation and harassment. And Alberta Premier Danielle Smith is defending her government's move to quickly pass a law invoking the notwithstanding clause to end a province-wide teachers' strike and shield the law from court challenges. Well, critics have said the government's bill was an attack on the democratic rights of teachers. Smith says the move was actually protecting democracy, which she says is when elected officials make decisions free from court interference.
And if we've got it wrong, then we'll hear about it at the polls. But if we've got it right, then we've got a lot of kids who are back in the classroom, and I think that's a good thing. So let's be clear. Unelected judges making decisions without any oversight and without having to go to the people to get the democratic endorsement of their view, that's not democracy.
Smith's government announced a new cabinet committee today to study potential solutions to overcrowded classrooms, one of the key issues that drove the strike. That was your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com.
Weather brought to you by Line X Regina. Serious protection, killer looks. 1865 McCarra Street. Weather tonight, we have snow showers, minor accumulation, and a low down to -10. Game day tomorrow. Partly to mostly sunny during the day. It is going to be a little bit colder, -5. Wind, though, out of the northwest, 10, only gusting to 20. Tomorrow night, once the sun goes down, we're looking for clear sky and in around -15. Sunday, partly sunny, high of -2. Monday, we're back on the plus side, partly to mostly sunny, and a high of 7. Tuesday looks like mostly sunny skies and a high of 3. Currently in downtown Regina, partly cloudy sky to mostly cloudy. It is -2, but it feels like -8.
For 40 years, the team from Linex Regina has been protecting vehicles across Saskatchewan, and we're changing with the times. 3 generations of our family have protected your vehicles. Our business has evolved, and we're not stopping now. The next generation is here. Same family, same commitment, ready for the next generation of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards in all kinds of colors. Linex Regina, 1865 McCarra Street, the next generation of protective coatings.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Football. Go outside, take a deep breath. Actually, don't do that. But football is in the air. That crisp fall weather. You gotta love it. Whether you're getting ready for the provincial high school football championship starting tonight in Saskatoon, going all week. Obviously the Rider game. Rams and Huskies. Coach McConkey is going to be with us in hour 3. Devastating news for the Rams with Marshall Erickson out, but we'll figure out what the game plan is now up against the Huskies. We had some slight problems here, technology-wise, but we're all good. Colson's got it under control, so we still have those Pat tickets for tonight. 936-6262, you got to call. Caller number 17 is going to win them. 7 p.m., Pats and Red Deer tonight. Colson will hook you up. Someone on the text line was asking about the SJHL report. That was yesterday. You can go back and yesterday's show was awesome. Front to back. If I had to be honest, probably the best one in the last couple of weeks for me. Lots of fun with Jake Mayer. Lots of fun with everybody that joined. But we had the SJHL report. You can go back and listen to that. It was yesterday. The commish was on. Our SJHL report always brought to you by Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, GP Financial Services, and Avisa Wealth. He's locally owned. If you're thinking about getting a second opinion on your employer plan, like a lot of people are doing these days, sit down with them, and they'll go through some options. www.gpfinancial.ca. I'm seeing all the text messages, too, that are coming in. You're trying to win tickets. So you're all in. Dylan, Saskatoon, you're in. Barry, you're in. Chris, Mouse, Ted, Brenda. Somebody's got a parlay for me to hit tonight. So we do Sprinkle of the Day. Colin in Yorkton. He sent it. I like that. Let's do it. Send me in what kind of action you're thinking tonight. I think it's all hockey games he's thinking of. Sherry, Riders are going to kill the Lions Roar and head to the Cup. Sherry, you're entered to win tickets if you want. Who else here? Spencer. It's going to be a great weekend. You know it, Spencer. I think a lot of people are going out looking for those heated jackets. And that's not Tegan, who will have the show on Monday, and she's the sideline reporter. She is going out. She said right after work, I'm going to go try to find one of those plug-in dealies, heated jackets. Yeah, veteran move, actually. I'm not sure what Luke and Dave are going to have in the booth. Ready to go, Colson? Okay. Western Pizza. Why wouldn't a guy or girl grab some Western Pizza tonight? It's Friday. Ease into the weekend with a little za, maybe the Greek favorites they can make. Souvlaki, ribs, salad. Just the goodness you just can't make at home. Call your local Western Pizza tonight. Let's go to the Western Pizza guest hotline. Joining us, the old 96er. He's given us such famous quotes on this program, like socks on a rooster and desperation is a stinky cologne. Is he there?
That's right. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. There you are. I see you now. Yeah, I got you.
Awesome.
Hey, Schultz, though, what a weekend for football in Saski, right? Like everything going on.
Well, listen, this is a Sask football weekend. It isn't just the Rider weekend. I mean, you got the Hilltops, the Huskies facing, or the Hilltops facing the Thunder. No, they're not playing.
No, the Okanagan. Okanagan.
That's right. Then you got the Huskies and the Rams. I mean, the pipeline is alive for Saskatchewan football. We don't just watch football; we produce it.
There's a quote right there. And then at Guthridge Field tomorrow, we got a little 5A provincial, right by Lakeview Insurance there in Moose Jaw Central and Regina Johnson, 1 p.m.
Yeah, we threw our hat into that old ring and got bounced out of the playoffs by Swift Current, and they went on to play Central, and now they're in the big dance. So they are definitely our biggest rivalry for the Belgroni Griffins. So I'm actually gonna be taking in the first half of that game.
And then making your way to Mosaic, obviously.
Making my way down to Mosaic because they got me out to ramp up the crowd at the beginning. So that's going to be fun.
Oh, what do you have planned? You're going to set off some sort of fireworks, something illegal?
I'm going to copy what Steve Mazurik did because he's Mr. Electric.
What do you?
I got a video of what Steve was doing last week, and I tell you, I got to do something better than that.
Okay, what I'm telling people to be careful. Just make sure you know what you're dressing in for that game. What do you recommend? Carhartts, maybe a Skidoo pant of some sort.
I've got my Carhartt bibs are definitely going to make an appearance, and I will likely. It just depends. I've had a pretty high on the hog summer, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit into my O'Day jersey that I would wear to the game.
Send me a picture of that, please. I want to see it slide.
We might need to get a little coconut oil on there to get it greased on.
As a player, though, the weather. Do you expect the weather to affect the Lions as they roll in?
Well, you know how that goes. I mean, the thing with the weather is, BC, they play in a coastal, climate that is very mild. So the first quarter is going to be tough for them, but then there'll be adjustments. I mean, the grip, the footing, you mentioned it coming in, the breathing, all those things are going to be in play. And for us Saski boys and the guys that have been here, that have been experiencing it, won't be a big deal. They'll be out there ready to pin their ears back and get after Rourke for sure. What's the coldest game you remember playing in? Well, you'll remember it. This was a big one. That was the 2003 West semifinal against Winnipeg in Winnipeg, and you'll remember that was the infamous. That's what started the Banjo Bowl. That's when I got a sack, and I celebrated by playing the banjo, and all my defensive line guys got around and were playing the old picking the banjos like we're at the Grand Ole Opry. That game was minus 20. Yeah. It was rough. And a lot of guys will remember guys like that I played with and are still friends with, guys like Husey and O'Day and McCullough. Like I was like a kid in a candy store because we got all of our new fit and grip before the game. And so I've got Lon Johns, I've got the blacked out face mask and all that. McCullough dared me to go down and buy some stuff from the commissary at the hotel. I did that. You got to make sure. You got to make ssure the stuff fits. You got to make sure everything's in its right place. I got onto an elevator with about, I would say, probably 12 people. And as a 6'3", 300 and question mark pound assassin, and we came out and won the game.
What do you remember? Do you remember any guys in any of your cold games, that one or any of them, guys on your team or guys from other teams kind of being like mentally disturbed right with the weather right out of the gate?
Oh, you see those guys pacing the sideline, thinking about Florida. I mean, every roster's got a few guys who lose the fight between the ears when the Celsius dips a little bit. But that's you just kind of block it out. It's kind of like the Navy SEAL thing, embrace the suck. We don't do anything unless it sucks. So it doesn't matter if it was minus 20 out there. There was guys out there with no sleeves being tough guys and leading the way. So there's going to be a lot of that, and I can't wait to point it out.
Yeah, the no sleeve guy, and then by the end of the game, his arms all red, and it's like that doesn't look too good. How do you game plan? Let's put you in the coach's chair here for the Riders, defensive side of the ball. How are you game planning against Nathan Rourke?
Well, from what I can glean as an interior nose guard, I mean, if that's what you want to hear, Rourke seems like he's a rhythm QB. And he's deadly when he's kept clean. So the defense needs to muddy that pocket. They got to collapse it from the inside to the outside and let those ends clean them up. I expect some big push up inside. We got to keep leverage and contain the edges so there's no free escape lanes. And then the biggest thing is just disrupting those guys. And defense wins in November. I lived that. I love it. And the biggest thing is they're going to have to shut down. You have to shut down one phase and attack the other. And that's whether they shut down the run and attack the pass, or they're able to shut down the pass and attack the run. They've got to figure that out and get them bifurcated so they can work on them in bite-sized pieces to win this game.
I asked Farhan this in hour one, and I'm just kind of thinking, and watch football, and you coach it at some time. You got aggressive defenses. Now BC hasn't been a team this year that's run a lot of screen patterns, bubble screens, and different thing like that. Maybe a wrinkle into that, and then if that happens, how quickly do you adjust?
Well, you gotta. I mean, and you know what? And that's fun. It's great that you bring that up, because one of the things that I've kind of keyed in, being a former player, and you still kind of feel like you get your fingers on the pulse. The Riders have been definitely they have been able to switch on the fly for a large part of the season. And I've been talking about, they've got that trust in their players. It's one thing to make an adjustment and man, we hope we can get it done. But what the Riders have shown, and they've shown it with their record and they've shown it with their on-field exuberance, is that, the team will make a change and they trust them to go out there and do it. And then they do it. And that's what I think has been kind of the secret sauce to the Riders defense for sure.
Special teams, always a factor in big football games. You could see that here as well with the weather.
Absolutely. In weather like this, special teams, it flips the game. The ball gets slick. The footing's tricky. I mean, field position is everything. And so we're going to see that play out. And I think that the Riders being, they've got the environmental experience, I would expect that we win that portion of the game for sure.
Offensively, from us, you'd be surprised if we didn't run the ball hard and run it often?
You've got a Sasquatch in that backfield who his only purpose was to carry the rock between the tackles. This guy, his hair, his demeanor, his forward attitude, the way that his body leans when he runs. You have definitely got to pound the rock with this guy. It's trench warfare out there. We've got to run it early and often and make BC really feel it on their shoulders of like, God, we can't stop this guy. And I think, with the way things have been coming together for the Riders, if they just have to go out and execute, and that's exactly what I see happening.
Does this it kind of seems like the destiny, right? Like how the season's gone, how actually the last two seasons have gone, the disappointment last year, the build up to this, not to go back to the Blue Jays where it was like, okay, it's just going to happen. Like, give us the trophy. And then it kind of goes sideways. But Schultz, I just, for the life of me and the gambler in me, I'm taking the Riders all day to cover this too.
You know what? You do. I mean, there is something in the air. There's something is happening. You can't really put your finger on it. There is a bit of a special feel. So I'm not going to say too much more about that. I'm a superstitious one, so I don't want to jinx anything. But it's just, again, it's F or walk. The loser goes home. You push all your chips to the middle of the table, and by any means necessary, you got to win this game. And I think that the guys in that room understand that. The executive and the coaching staff certainly understand that. And I cannot wait to get into the stadium and see it unfold in front of my eyes.
We can't wait to see you rev up the crowd. Superstitious and a quote machine. Give us a plug for the business.
Hey, big things happening at Lakeview Insurance. We are the Western Canadian leaders in farm insurance and ag insurance. We've got all kinds of, we've got 2 new programs coming out. We've got a chicken and poultry program coming out this year, this winter, and as well a seed growers program. So we're going to be at all of the trade shows, and we will be doing the cold calls and making it happen to get your business.
Yeah, well, come on. If we're doing this live at Agribition, you got to come on.
Oh, you know for sure I'm going to come down to Agribition. I told you last year there might be Cody Fajardo might be joining us in a booth this year, so we'll have to hold our breath and see what happens.
Oh, little tease. I like it. All right, Schultz, travel safe, and maybe see you at the stadium tomorrow.
Hey, go Riders. Looking forward to it, and thanks again for having me on, and we'll talk soon.
Right on. There he is, the old 96er on the Western Pizza guest hotline, dissecting the game for us. He's been in these games. He knows it. -20 that game in Winnipeg. Hopefully not. We're not quite there, but we could be close tomorrow. Still more Rider talk coming up too. Geno Lewis from the Ottawa Redblacks. He's going to be coming up. Find out more on the Ryan Dinwiddie move there, what he thinks about that. Going to the Prairieland Rentals text line here. Kevin says, be great seeing Schultz run out tomorrow wearing the old flame bucket and lighting her off. Wouldn't that be something, Kev? Wouldn't that? What happened to our world? Maybe we can't get the flame anymore. Gerald says the YouTube feed is breaking up. Very annoying. We only can do so much, Gerald. You know, technology, YouTube. Look up YouTube's 1-800 number. Let's all give them a piece of our mind. But I think we're back now, right, Colson? All right. We'll come back with the clutch performer as we go to break. Let's get the Trevor Harris track just launched. Shauna and Colson from Harris's clips today as we go to break.
We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs.
I'm not here to talk about Nathan Rourke. I think it's our time.
We're the big dogs.
I think it's our time.
We're the big dogs.
It's our time.
Regina Pats hockey.
Partial breakaway, right side stops. He scores!
Then at Dunlop Ford, Regina Pats hockey is back on your official voice of the Pats. 620 CKRM.
Tune into Puck Drop tonight at 7 when the Red Deer Rebels take on the Regina Pats at the Brandt Center.
Game day tickets are available now from the Pats box office. Don't miss a minute of the action. Listen on air or online at 620CKRM.com. Regina Pats hockey.
What's going on in the markets? When is the right time to invest? What should you do with your money today? When Lindsay had questions, she talked to Brian Golly.
Living in very rural Saskatchewan, Brian makes it really easy to stay connected virtually, which is perfect for our busy young family.
You don't have to plan your financial future alone.
I've actually recommended him to a few people just because he's trustworthy and he's very easy to work with.
Call Brian Golly of Smart Investing Solutions. 306-546-2533.
In an ideal world, you're already driving one. When you're behind the commands of the Fendt Ideal Combine, you experience a workhorse that takes harvest to task. Real-time monitoring, 485-bushel grain tank that unloads at 6 bushels per second, all backed by a 3-year full machine warranty, plus all scheduled maintenance ensures your harvest doesn't stop. Now that's how you grow bold. See the Ideal Fendt Combine at Nick's Service in Emerald Park. nickservice.com.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Meet Todd. It's noon. He's really hungry, and his stomach makes sure to let him know it.
Todd, we talked about this. No more skipping meals. I need cheese. I need crust. I need Western Pizza.
All right. Western Pizza it is.
Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today before your stomach starts making demands.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
It's home reno season, and with that Regina wind chill, you're better off renovating than relocating. Stay productive with a little help from Freeze Tallman. From drywall and molding to installation and interior doors, they've got everything you need to renovate your space. Freeze Tallman's delivery team can also deliver right to your home if you live in Regina, Fort Capel, or anywhere in southern Saskatchewan. Freeze Tallman's got you covered this reno season. Visit freezetallman.com or see them in Regina or Fort Capel. Freeze Tallman. Let's get you building.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality.
In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes.
Or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
The Sports Cage Clutch Performer for Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Call 781-1077.
Clutch Performers. I don't know where you want to go, Colson. Try and keep it local here on the front. Congratulations to the Miller Marauders. Defeated Laboldus 25-14 in the third set to win the Senior Boys Blue Division City Volleyball Championship. Also, Winston Knoll defeated Campbell 15-12 in the fifth and deciding set to win the Senior Girls Blue Division City Volleyball Championship yesterday. So, good on ya. Unclutch Performer. Actually, Clutch Performer, anyone that watched that NFL game front to back last night. I couldn't do it. Heard a lot of people complaining about it today. I saw the Raiders up 3-0, hammered and in game bed with the Broncos. If you're watching the stream, that's funny. What an awful football game. Where'd you find that?
I was on Twitter. Everything's on Twitter. But the graphic we've got up shows some of the chaos that happened last night, and then somebody photoshopped the quarterback's helmets so they're both backwards. Because that's basically what it was. 13 3-and-outs, 15 punts, 3 interceptions, 2 missed field goals, a blocked punt, 8 sacks, and more than half of the Raiders' drives didn't go further than 2 yards.
I heard it was like the first time since the 1950s that both teams had more penalties than points.
Yeah, I looked it up. Both teams had 11 penalties each, and it was a 10-7 game.
That's sad.
And that's why we watch the CFL.
That's unreal. Clutch Performer, Unclutch Performer is brought to you by Nick's Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Call 781-1077.
Time now for Friday Night Lights, your weekly look at the exciting high school football scene in Saskatchewan. Brought to you by Warren Steinley, Member of Parliament of Regina Louvain, and always on Saskatchewan's side.
Yeah, we've talked about it. We've been covering it all year here on the Sports Cage. High school football, we know it's a big deal. We got Johnson and Moose Jaw in the 5A. In 1A, 6-a-side, Lemberg, Hafford. That is going to be such a good football game in Hafford, 2 p.m. on Saturday. 2A, 6-a-side, Clavette, Watrous, 1 p.m. in Watrous. 4A, Lumsden in Humboldt, 1 p.m. on Saturday. That's the 4A 9-a-side championship. It's so great. And then the city championship here in Regina, it was the Miller Marauders over the Riffle Royals. I've been talking about it, teed this up yesterday. They are on the bus. They're heading up to Saskatoon. Well, they're there already. So earlier today, I caught up with Miller head coach Jason Duchek to chat about the provincial final tonight in Saskatoon between Miller and the Holy Cross Crusaders. Jason, it's special. It's a provincial final. First off, I want to go back to the game in the city final last week against Riffle. Was it the battle that you guys expected? I'm sure you're going to say yes, it was.
Yeah, well, I expected the battle like that for sure. I'm not sure the kids expected it to be
a battle like that. We got up on them early. We were up 15-0. And I think sometimes some complacency comes into play a little bit. And then they got a score at the end of the half. And now it's a little bit of, what's going on here, and that we should be moving along and continuing to stay ahead of those guys. And we were in control of the game. All I told them at halftime was just stay the course, keep playing like how we keep playing, and that. Then we stayed in the lead all the time. They narrowed it. We always were able to respond, and that's the name of the game in football: is can you respond once the opponent does something to your team. And we were able to do that in a big way on a few drives.
So you got Holy Cross coming up in Saskatoon tonight. How much do you know about Cross? Did you start preparing before you knew that it was them coming out of the St. Joe's Holy Cross matchup, or do you just watch a ton of tape this week with your coaches and prepare and talk to other coaches and get the scouting report?
Yeah, it's more just started on the weekend, trying to organize and get the film and talk to other people that we know in Saskatoon that can provide us any insight that we can with them. I know they're doing the same kind of thing as well. Did we pay attention during the regular season on to who the top teams were in Saskatoon? Oh, absolutely, we did. But we had to keep our focus on here in Regina and make sure we take care of business first. And then, we've put all our effort into since our game has ended as coaches, and that, be nice to celebrate a little more and enjoy that a little more, but it's move on to the next game right away. And we've been working hard at trying to get our game plans in, and that we feel very confident about our game plans, and we just hopefully can execute them tomorrow.
Before we get into your group, let's talk about what does Holy Cross pose to you guys.
Well, Holy Cross is a very solid team up there. They've been that for over a decade, and that probably closer to 15 years. It's been them and basically St. Joseph's there, especially the last 5 years. It's been one of those two groups there. And we played Holy Cross 2 years ago, and it was a battle. We ended up pulling it out, winning 12-10 at the end of the game. And we expect that type of battle again, that it's going to be really, really tight. They've got an elite defense themselves. We have an elite offense, so that'll be really interesting to see how that matches up. And the weather's going to be not very nice tomorrow, so that's going to even things out a little bit more. And I think the game might come down to special teams in terms of which team performs better on special teams. I think our D matches up good against their offense. This is going to be a very tight battle, and that's how it should be. It's the best of the best in Saskatoon. It's the best in Regina, and let's battle it out and see who can come out on top.
Forecast is calling for -2, but windy, so it's going to feel like -8, possibly some light snow, wind 24, gusting to 41. So definitely not the greatest elements for a passing attack a lot of times. Let's talk about your special player, and a lot of people have talked about him for years in the city, and Marcus Adams Jr.
Yeah, Marcus every year has just continued to expand his game and his capabilities, and that as he grows into his own body and just continues to get that stronger. But the biggest part of things this year is he's figured things out, I'll call it visually, and that he's really found a way to slow the game down at times for himself to read his blocks. And then when he reads that, then he just explodes through the hole and away he goes. And it's hard to tackle him. He's not an easy guy to tackle. And I think many opponents have figured that out. As an example, the kickoff return he returned for a touchdown in the city final game, 7 Riffle Royals missed him, and that they couldn't bring him down. And so, yeah, he's just a special player, and we hope for one more big game out of him.
Let's name drop a couple other guys, or a few other guys that are grade 12s that this will be their last high school games, but guys that have been with you, and maybe the leaders on this team. Who are we looking at for Miller?
Well, one of our big leaders in that is Noah Finkelday, and he's a 4-year player with us. He's a free safety receiver. Unfortunately, in the summer, he had hurt his wrist and broken it, so we couldn't use him. But the last 3 games we've been able to use him, and in 3 games he has 15 catches for 470 yards-ish and 8 touchdowns. He's a special football player with ridiculous speed and just great football sense. Another player we have is William Weisbeck, and these guys are all U18 players as well, and that they've played provincially. William Weisbeck is just an absolute, I'll call him, he's plays with his hair on fire all the time. He is just unbelievable for us. He's going to go on and play as a defensive back at the next level, but we've moved him into middle linebacker so they can't run the ball away from him. And so now he gets to chase all over the place, and he hits with force and that too. So he's another player that is just gigantic for us. Our center, Jackson Jelena, another player that has just come along so well through the years and put the time and effort into becoming a better football player, and just he bleeds Marauder football, and it's just exciting to see that happen for guys like him and the other grade 12s, that they get to go for another provincial title here at the end of their years.
What do you explain to the guys tomorrow with, and I'm sure you did this going into the city final as well, and you talked about how, when Riffle was pushing, but tomorrow with the elements, big game, lots of nerves. What's your message to the team on just kind of staying in the moment, controlling things, although it is the provincial final, which is massive?
Yeah, they all know the stakes. 2 years ago, though, remember we won 3 provincials in a row, so we still have some players who have played in a provincial final. Our quarterback has played in the provincial final as well. He's another grade 12 kid, Corbin Thompson. So they understand, they know. We've watched those games from a couple years ago and this week as well, just to see what happened and how the game went, because in 2022 we played St. Joseph's here. It was -20 out, and with the wind chill it was like -27. It was nasty, but we played really well. So all I've talked to them about is just that, okay, when we get off the bus, you can complain about the weather for about a minute, but then you got to get your focus back. They got to play in the same weather as we do. It's 45 minutes of hopefully the best football we can put together and play this year.
A Friday evening game. I thought it was a little bit interesting. You've explained to me that it's kind of happened before, and there's been Friday afternoon games. Traveling up, day of, all that. How do you, as coaches, prepare them? Or are we just talking about, athletes that are 16, 17, maybe 18 years old, and it isn't going to really affect them that much because of the magnitude of the game?
Well, yes, they all know the magnitude of the game, but we had a pre-run of this in week 2. Yeah. We had a game in Saskatoon against St. Joseph, so we've already done a run-through of playing a really good team in Saskatoon, going through the process of traveling up there the day of, going through all that stuff. So we learned a couple things from that, and it's a good thing we went through that, and I sort of purposely made sure we were one of the teams that traveled to Saskatoon this year to play a game, because there was the potential that I felt very strongly that we could win the cities here. So that's sort of the pre-run of that. And so it's not a fresh thing to them. They all know the whole thing, what to pack, what to go, how to be ready to go, all that stuff. So we're set to go.
And lastly, Coach, as a coach that's been through it before, obviously you're always grabbing from experiences and situations, and you talked about that game that was cold up there. But what do you have to remember, you and your coaching staff, when you get into a game like this and just kind of leaning on that experience?
Well, I've got quite a bit of experience myself in that. I've won 10 city titles now through the years. So I pass that on to my younger coaches. I've got a couple of coaches that have been there, and we're just preaching calmness with the guys this week. It's the end of the season. Everybody's banged up. Everybody's, no one's 100%, and it's a long season. And we've just been working on making sure that we don't bang them too much here, but just enough that we're ready to go. We've had some really good practices here over the last couple of days. And actually, it's been peaking over the last, I'll call it month, and that we've been just really stepping up our practices. It helps that we've been able to go to Leibel Field to practice and be on turf. and continue to do that. So, just relying on the experience that I've had being at multiple provincials, and I've been on the losing end a number of times too in that. So you've got to be at your best in these games, and that, then you can't underestimate the opponent at all. And so, but I like our game plans going into this particular game, and so may the best team win.
All the best, Coach. Super exciting. Like, we talked about it on the show a number of times. It's like the kids never forget this. Some of them are lucky enough to be there multiple times. You've been there multiple times, but it's a very exciting time. Dress warm.
And as coaches, we have to dress warmer than the kids. Yeah, for sure.
Have a good one.
All right, thank you.
Check out sportscage.com for updates on that tonight, or any of our socials. Probably our Twitter feed would be the best. We thank Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Louvain, for sponsoring Friday Night Lights all week. Warren Steinley, always on Saskatchewan's side. We have to mention this one too. 2 p.m. Sunday. So while the Hilltops and Okanagan Sun are going at it up in Saskatoon for the Canadian Junior Championship, the Prairie Girls Football League final, 2 p.m. Sunday, Leibel Field, Yorkton and Moosomin. Now, if you got a young girl or a lady that wants to get into maybe football down the road, take them to this. It's going to be awesome. 2 p.m. They're neutral siting it at Leibel Field, Yorkton, Moosomin, for the Prairie Girls Football League Championship. Love it. We love being local here on the Sports Cage. Thanks to everyone, too, who sent in messages, keeping us abreast of anything in your communities when it came to high school football and minor football this year in and around. It is the Sports Cage. We're the home of local sports and local football in Saskatchewan, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.
Extreme Hockey and Sport are your hockey experts. Locally owned, committed to the community and each of their customers. With their customer rewards program, Extreme Hockey Bucks, the price match guarantee, and now proud to announce their new e-commerce platform for ease of purchase and your convenience. Their expertise and commitment raise them high above the competition. Come experience the Extreme Hockey difference. 1425 McIntyre Street, conveniently located at the Cooperator Center and online at extremehockey.net.
So, since that little ding on my car last week, I don't know where to take it.
I don't even know. That's easy. Take it to Regina Motor Products.
Who said that?
I did. Down here. I'm Terry the Tire. Regina Motor Products Chevrolet Collision Center and SGI accredited auto body repair is a full-service collision and body shop that works on all makes and models. Just submit your claim to SGI and set an appointment to get your appraisal done. Easy.
I bet you're tired after saying all that.
South at Highway 1 and 6, Albert Street. RMPChevrolet.com.
All the farmland and equipment you could need are available at auction this fall with Ritchie Brothers. A wide variety of farmland auctions across Western Canada will begin in earnest in October and run into December to get you ready for the next season. With new parcels of land and equipment continually added to their inventory, make sure to visit their website so you never miss an opportunity. Head over to rbauction.com to get started. Again, that's rbauction.com.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality.
In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes.
Or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sport, Regina's locally owned one-stop hockey shop. Now with a price match guarantee. 1425 McIntyre Street.
Okie dokie, tomorrow, West Final. No Keyshawn Johnson, no Joe, no Philippe Gagnon, and no Mitch Picton, among others, for our Riders. BC Lions tomorrow. You can hear it right here on 620 CKRM. U17 World Hockey Championships. What a game. Just wrapping up in Truro, Nova Scotia. Canada White, Maddox Schultz, and Liam Pugh, 8-7 in overtime over the United States of America. It was a back-and-forth affair. Liam Pugh scoring the overtime winner at 4:16. Chase Serkan, Boston Tate, and Team Canada White up against Czechnia tonight If they win, it'll be them and Canada White going at it for the championship tomorrow. Western Hockey League in town. We'll be right here on 620 CKRM starting at 6:30. Red Deer's in to take on the Regina Pats. Other Saski teams skating tonight. Moose Jaw's in Saskatoon. Swift Current welcomes Calgary. And Prince Albert's in Spokane. SJHL action tonight. Warman plays host to Kindersley. Melville travels into Weyburn. And Yorkton is at the Battleford. Shout out to the Saskatchewan Junior Female Hockey League. Regina Wild taking on the Taylor Toyota Lynx at 8:15. Prairie Junior Hockey League. Pilot Buttes and Carrot River, 7:30. Fort Knox taking on the Steelhawks of Moosomin. 8 p.m. puck drop there. And at the Canadian Mixed Curling Championships in Assiniboia, Regina's team, led by Jason Ackerman, they lost their first one in New Brunswick today. They're going to take on Manitoba at 6 p.m. tonight. Shout out. What do we got? Canadian teams on the ice in the NHL. Chicago is in Calgary to take on the Flames. Winnipeg is at San Jose. Sports Ticker in hour 2. Home of the price match guarantee, Extreme Hockey and Sport. They're local. They support local. Extreme Hockey and Sport and Umbrella Marketing for anything you need in and around Regina. Like I said, back out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. He's joining us again on the show. Geno Lewis, post-season. Ottawa 4-14 this year. Geno, thanks for coming back. How do you rate the season for yourself personally?
Yeah, man, it was a tough year overall, man. I would definitely say we definitely had some highlights of the season, but just overall, as a team, we didn't do well for Ottawa, and we got to do better. Personally, I think I did everything I could, with the opportunities that I had. At the end of the day, my goal is always to get 1,000, and I'm gonna do it and find a way any way that I possibly can. But I just feel like we had so much talent on this team that it was definitely a disappointment for sure. Just all the firepower that we had and that we could have used in a better way.
Big news this week in the CFL. Ryan Dinwiddie coming over, head coach, GM. Have you talked to Ryan?
Yeah, so I did go to the conference yesterday. I know he's running all around. He has so much going on. So I got a little brief second with him, after the interview and stuff like that. Just introduce myself. I've never been coached by him. I've had conversations with him in the past. When I was a free agent and stuff like that when he was in Toronto. We had good conversations back then and stuff like that. So, he has to do some more interviews and stuff like that. I think he's going to come back to Ottawa Monday. And I'm in Ottawa for the offseason, most of the offseason. So I'm going to get to talk with him, when he gets back.
You know what? Like, we had him on the show here, and just watching what he's done. I remember when he got thrust into the Grey Cup against the Riders, and then what he's done in Toronto. He seems, I called him like a dude, like a dog, right? He's the kind of guy you want controlling that huddle if you're a receiver. So now that he's controlling a franchise, man, that's positive right there.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. He's an offensive-minded coach too. So, for me, I love that. I always admire the way he used some of his guys and stuff like that over there. And like you said, he got that fire, man. It's a fire in people that, if you got it, you got it. And you can tell it from right there. So, his competitive nature, and, I feel like the way his mindset is about the game, like, I love that, like, because I feel like he kind of like me in a way where, like, I hate to lose more than I love to win. You know what I mean? So I just, that competitive nature is hard to find like that sometimes.
Absolutely. How revved up were you for the games against Edmonton this year? Can you be honest with us?
Oh, man, I was excited, man, all year round. I tell everybody, this is fun, man. This is football. Like, all these scenarios and things that happens, like, it's part of the game, and it's fun, and you want to see the results at the end of it. Like, that's what we do it for. We don't do all this talking and all this to just, there's nothing that comes from it. Yeah, it's results. But I was excited, man. I'm mad that we lost both. I am mad that we lost, but, individually, I had a couple of games where they know I'm still around.
Handicap both of these for me. Let's start with the East final. We got Montreal. It's funny. I find over the last kind of week here, the Tiger Cats are getting no respect. A guy that played out in the East. What's your take on the East final?
I'm gonna be real with you. I think it's gonna be a great game. I think it's just tough. Personally, on this one, I would have to flip a coin. Really? Because I don't. First things first is I don't know. There's some guys playing. There's some guys not. We're not really sure. With the injuries and stuff like that. So, but I think it's going to be a heck of a game, though. I think it's going to be a close game. But I would have to flip a coin. I got to flip a coin. I'm going to flip the coin and let you know later.
Yeah, we're the home of the Riders. So, but we want your honest opinion in the West. In the West, how do you say? The other thing too, Geno, we're looking like -16, -17. It's going to be cold.
I'm actually mad that you even said that. I'm mad that you even said that because in the West, I also think this is going to be a super good game. I think it's going to be 27-24 win. And I think Sass is going to get it because, again, I know there's some injuries on both teams that we're not sure of again. But I'm going to say because of the weather. I already know what the weather is going on right now. So, like, because of the weather, I'm gonna give Sass the edge in a 27-24 win.
Okay, so what we got so far, just to let you know, on the offensive side of the ball, Keyshawn Johnson out, Joe out.
I seen the Keyshawn. I didn't know a Joe. The thing, you know what the crazy thing is? Them both being out is super tough, but like Sass has like a receivers all over, like, you know, that they can kind of just put in a little bit that have been doing well. They can step up, you know what I mean? So and they got Trev, you know, he'll make sure he'll put guys in the right position if you need to talk and stuff like that. So yeah, them two dudes definitely be out. It's tough, but I think they still got a chance to, you know, make it happen.
Yeah, well, and if it's cold like that, I think we're going to see a lot of AJ Ouellette. Something just tells me pound that rock out here on the prairies. I got to ask you. I've kind of been actually waiting to catch up with you again. I got to ask you about the rule changes. What do you think?
Oh yeah. Personally, I'm an adjuster. Like, I always been a person where, like, whatever's going on, I just got to adjust to it, or I'm gonna be out of it. So it's like even growing up, right? Growing up, like playing basketball and playing, you know, football outside with your friends and stuff like that, I didn't care what the basketball looked like. I don't care if it doesn't have any grip on it. I don't care that the rim is a less foot. Yeah, I didn't care. So, like, for me personally, it's like this. I think some things are good for the game. I know, like, as some Canadians, they might not be okay with it, but if you're asking me, somebody that grew up in the United States and I played American football and I've been a receiver, if you tell me you give me 20 yards in the end zone, thank you. That's I appreciate it. Like, if you tell me you give me 15, I'm still grateful. Thank you. I appreciate it because I only need 10. I've been playing 10 yards in the end zone my whole life. So it's like giving me more is just a bonus. Like, you know what I mean? So I kind of look at it like that. Like, I just want the league to get better. I want the league to, you know, keep going in the direction where guys are able to keep making more money. And if guys are able to make more money from this, then I'm all for it then.
Explain to Sask people, what's that fan base like that you got a year under your belt now in Ottawa?
Honestly, it's a super, super committed fan base. They just want you to win. As every team, every fans and everything, they want that. But this is the capital, you know, so it's so much going on here. You got so many cultures here. You got so many type of people, like, and it's a fun place to be, especially when you're winning. Like, that's even what I've talked to guys in the past, like, you know, when they went on their runs and stuff like that. They tell you, like, it's a whole different atmosphere. But I love the city. I love the crowd. I love all the, you know, everything they have at the stadium, you know, touchdowns and cutting the wood and all that. It's a hell of a show.
Yeah, you got to get. Don't they freeze the canal there in the winter? Don't you got to get your skates on and go skating?
Actually, it's crazy. I am going to go skating. I've been skating since when I went to Penn State. They made Paluga Hall when I was there at one point in time for the hockey team, and that's my first time I started ice skating. Like, and I realized, oh, okay, you can skate a little bit. Mind you, I wear a size 15, so I gotta hope they got my skate size.
That might be tough to find, my man. That might be tough to find. Hey, but you know what? You can adjust. Squeeze yourself into some 12s.
Hey, make it happen by any means necessary.
Lastly, Geno, I want to ask you. You said you're sticking around Ottawa in the off season. What does the off season hold for you in the next few months?
Yeah, man. So honestly, I am going to go home for Thanksgiving. I'm going to go home for Christmas. My mom's birthday is in January. My dad's birthday is in January. So I'm definitely going to go back home for a little bit, but I'll be in Ottawa doing some stuff, doing some events here in the city. I'll probably be going back to Montreal too to do some stuff there. Just events that I do. I got my Christmas drive that I do back home in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, on December 20th. This is going to be the 5th annual year for that, so that's been going really good. Man, and then I go down to Florida in February, and I go train, lock in, and get right back to it, man, and you know, just planning on going to win that Grey Cup. That's it.
Wow, Ryan Dinwiddie. Now everything's up in the air. That's a beautiful thing for you. We really appreciate you taking some time again to hop on the Sports Cage here, and so we're going Riders out of the West, and then coin flip out of the East.
Coin flip out of the East, man.
Okay, thanks, Geno.
No problem. Thank y'all, man. God bless.
Right on. There he is. Geno Lewis joining us here from Ottawa. Second time we've had him on the program. Great to see. Big things next year in Ottawa. I said yesterday on the show, or was it the day before? I said I'm going over 8 wins next year. They're going to double their win total. It's the Sports Cage. We're streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. We're always on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
Thank you, Rider Nation. The Riders Foundation 50-50 jackpots have been massive this season, and it's all thanks to you. When you buy your 50-50, you're supporting amateur football across the province. It's playoff time, and like the games, the 50-50 gets bigger in the playoffs. Can we get it to $1 million, Rider Nation? Maybe higher. Don't get hit with regret. Buy your 50-50 tickets at riders5050.ca and go Riders.
Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC. Lottery license LR250011.
Year-end clear-out is back at Capital GMC, and everything must go. We are clearing out all remaining new 2025 models. That means massive price drops and deals you'll never see again this year. Until they're gone, new 2025s have up to $10,000 off. Or check out a GM certified pre-owned vehicle. They all come with manufacturer's warranty, roadside assistance, and more. Do not miss the biggest discounts of the year during year-end clear-out at Capital GMC in Regina.
I got $300. You want to put $300? Hi, it's Lauren McDougall, and I'm thrilled to share some exciting news. I've joined McBid's Auctioneers as CEO, a brand new independent company built on family values, integrity, and good old-fashioned service. We got plenty of tools in the toolbox, and we're eager to do business. After more than 40 years in this industry, I can't wait to reconnect and help you get the results you deserve. Check us out today at mcbids.ca and register to bid. We're building something special, and I'd love to have you be part of it. $100 anywhere. Sold!
You've worked hard for years, but when you retire, do you know your options that truly fit you and your family? That's where Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, and the team at GP Financial Services and Aviso Wealth come in. They help you understand your choices, avoid costly mistakes, and build a retirement plan. Independent advice, local expertise. Before you make the next move, talk to Chad Reach, 306-584-2755.
Mutual funds and other securities are offered through Aviso Wealth, a division of Aviso Financial Inc.
This fall, the eyes of Canadian university football turn to Regina. The University of Regina, City of Regina, and U Sports proudly host the 60th anniversary of the Vanier Cup, Saturday, November 22nd at Mosaic Stadium. It's the first time Regina welcomes this historic championship, showcasing the best in Canadian university football. Tickets start at just $10 for youth and students, $20 for adults, and kids under 5 are free. That's Saturday, November 22nd, Mosaic Stadium. Get your tickets now at vaniercup.com.
The 620 CKRM Country Corner is brought to you by Glasses TV, your Sastel authorized dealer, and Foster's Audio Video in Carlisle. Get the newest cell phone today with an amazing Sastel rate plan.
620 CKRM is proud to support the Hospitals of Regina Foundation Home Lottery. Give yourself the chance at the $1.7 million grand prize show home. Proceeds support healthcare in Regina's 3 hospitals. Ticket deadline fast approaching November 14th. HRFHomeLottery.com. Mosaic Stadium is playing host to the Vanier Cup on Saturday, November 22nd. Join U Sports, the University of Regina, and the City of Regina for this historic celebration of Canadian university football. Tickets at uregina.ca/event. And Canadian Western Exhibition kicks off November 24th at the Real District. Saddle up for 6 full days of action, including the Maple Leaf Circuit Finals Rodeo, Trade Show, Commercial Cattle Show, and much more. Full event schedule and tickets at agribition.com.
For more information, visit 620ckrm.com. We are 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station. Streaming online at 620ckrm.com.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Corey Atkinson from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news for Echo Sound in Fort Qu'Appelle. Stay connected with a new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711. The long wait is almost over. Tomorrow night, the Saskatchewan Roughriders will be taking on the BC Lions at Mosaic Stadium in the CFL West Final. Karina Peterson with the Riders says there will definitely be some pregame fun.
Pre-game, we've got a party happening out in the park again. Looks a little bit different than our regular party in the park. Not as family focused and a lot more $5 beer flying around. So make sure you head out there, catch some live music from 4 to 5 o'clock.
10,000 cowbells will also be handed out to the first fans in the stadium. Our pregame coverage gets rolling at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, with kickoff set for 5:30. A death in Whitewood is being treated as suspicious, and a male youth is now charged with first-degree murder. RCMP say they received a report of an injured man at a residence on November 6th. Broadview officers found the man inside, and he later died in hospital. Police arrested a youth at the home who was treated in hospital and then returned to custody. Because of the Youth Criminal Justice Act, the youth cannot be identified. Major Crimes continues to investigate with support from forensic teams. Conservative House Leader Andrew Scheer says the Liberals are intimidating and harassing MPs to get them to cross the floor. He says that is the reason Alberta MP Matt Genereux announced his resignation from the party.
Mark Carney did not receive a majority mandate from Canadian voters, yet he's trying to cobble together a majority through undemocratic means with backroom deals and pressure tactics.
Genereux was the second Conservative MP in as many days to announce they were leaving caucus in the wake of the federal budget. The Regina Police Service is asking the public to avoid the 800 block of Ray Street as a police operation is underway. Those in the area are asked to shelter in place, and motorists and pedestrians are asked to choose an alternative route. Updates will be provided as they become available. The RPS thanks the public for their understanding and cooperation. Alberta's government is considering raising the speed limit on its divided highways to 120 kilometers per hour. Drivers on several divided highways are currently limited at going 110 kilometers per hour, including the heavily used corridor connecting Calgary and Edmonton. Premier Danielle Smith says that highway and others were designed for faster speeds, and the lower limits are creating problems for drivers.
Do we have roads that have been constructed that could tolerate a higher level of speed, but because the speed is not set to what the road allowance is, we're ending up with people getting tickets, getting slowed down, and problems as a result of that.
The government says it will be rolling out the higher limit on a pilot basis after a public survey closes next month. It says it will monitor the project closely to make sure it doesn't lead to more accidents or collisions. That was your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
Man, remember the good old days? Floppy disks, dial-up internet, and that time Stifler wrecked the prom?
Yeah, well, it's 2025 now. Time to grow up and grab a real laptop from Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
I'll set up SaskTel internet, maybe stream some Max TV, or relive the American Pie trilogy in glorious HD.
Upgrade that sad flip phone while you're at it.
Whoa!
Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Qu'Appelle. EchoSound.ca.
Brought to you by Line X Regina, Serious Protection Killer Lux, 1865 McCarra Street. Croft Electric, 27 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all electrical needs. CroftElectric.com and on all socials.
It's our first real shot of cold winter-like conditions as we head into the weekend across our corner of the province. Minor weather makers will bring some light snow showers tonight, and then the cold air and high pressure take control for the weekend. Temperatures will slowly moderate starting Sunday, but will remain below normal until we see a spike in readings by Monday afternoon. Our forecast details: snow showers likely tonight with a coating to a centimeter or so, lows near -10, east to southeast winds at 15 to 25, chance of snow 70% but dropping, becoming mostly sunny and cold tomorrow, -5, light north and northwest winds, chance of snow 0. Clear Saturday night, cold, -15, light westerly winds, partly sunny on Sunday with a high near -2. Partly to mostly sunny on Monday with a high near 7, big warm up on the way, mostly sunny, 3 degrees on Tuesday. With your 620 CKRM Precision Weather Forecast, I'm meteorologist Russ Murley.
Dan from Croft Electric explains why he is passionate about doing rural electrical work.
We are rural. I live on an acreage. I have 5 horses. I ride horses every weekend. We're rural. We want to be the one you think of when you're looking around your yard and you see something that's not electrically not right. We will come to your farm, wherever it is.
Croft Electric.
Do it right. Do it once.
CroftElectric.com.
For 40 years, the team from Line X Regina has been protecting vehicles across Saskatchewan, and we're changing with the times. 3 generations of our family have protected your vehicles. Our business has evolved, and we're not stopping now. The next generation is here. Same family, same commitment, ready for the next generation of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards in all kinds of colors. Line X Regina, 1865 McCarra Street, the next generation of protective coatings.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back for Nelson Homes. One more hour. What we got coming up? Luke Mullinder is going to join us. We're going to talk about the West Final, of course. Coach McConkey from Saskatoon, Rams and Huskies. Tomorrow we'll talk about that. Farhan Lalji will be back from TSN to talk all things CFL. It's been a great show. If you missed any of it, you can go catch it in podcast form or download the YouTube feed as well. Eric Francis in hour 1. We had Scott Schultz in hour 2. Miller, head coach, as they get set for Holy Cross tonight. Geno Lewis in hour 2. If you missed it off the start of the show, we got some clips from Trevor Harris today, our starting quarterback, T-Mobile. If you missed it, they're quick and they're powerful clips. This one, he was asked, what is the year-over-year difference in this team?
We're the big dogs.
That's it. That was the clip, 1 second long. We're the big dogs. And then he was asked about going up against Nathan Rourke.
I'm not here to talk about Nathan Rourke. I think it's our time.
Aren't those great sound bites from our starting quarterbacks? And then Colson and Shauna does some magic work. They come up with this little ditty in the matter of minutes.
We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. I'm not here to talk about Nathan Rourke. I think it's our time. We're the big dogs. I think it's our time. We're the big dogs. It's our time.
Oh, it had my head bopping back and forth. Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Luke Mullinder is there. Little toe tapper there, Luke. Didn't it remind you of being in the club back in the day or last weekend?
No, that music did not remind me of the clubs that I was going to. Absolutely not. I did frequent a couple of raves, but that's a story that probably shouldn't go on air. I'll tell the boys about it later.
Raves. Those things got weird back in the day. It's like, what time is it? Where are we? That's. I'm glad those days are long, long gone and behind me. Okay, we do this feature here, Luke. It's for sportselect.com. Sprinkle of the day, sportselect.com. You can go online now at sportselect.com, get a QR code, and you just you take that to the Lotto Spot retailer. They scan it. There's your ticket. So I go through some of the sprinkles. First off, I got to bring up this one from earlier in the show where somebody sent one in. I'll find it in a second. But if you go, let's go East final here. First off, this weekend.
Montreal by a dozen.
-3?
I'm taking Montreal.
What about that over-under at 53.5?
Oh, 53.5? Yeah, you know what? I'd probably go over on that. I'd probably go over, and I'd take Montreal for sure, though. I like Montreal, man. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure. They're playing. You see, here's the thing I like about Montreal. They started out terribly. They were brutal. And they've had to play at a high level to even get here. They've had to essentially run the table, right? And they came into the playoffs playing their highest level football. They took the Winnipeg Blue Bombers that had just gone to 5 straight Grey Cups, brought them to the woodshed, and now they go to Hamilton. I love the Alouettes. I love the momentum they got, and I think that they're going to the Grey Cup.
I feel I could go and put both farms on the Riders and Lions under 53.5 with the weather that's rolling in. No?
Yeah. I'm a little bit as somebody who's going to be up there with the broadcast booth windows open. I'll have a jacket with me. I'll have a Scully, and I think that obviously the you got to get out and practice in this stuff, which I think the Riders have been. But I mean, we've been incredibly lucky weather-wise here into November.
Yeah.
So realistically, it feels like you're playing with house money. So obviously, you know, the BC Lions. Yeah, they haven't seen weather, and again, it's not going to be storming or anything. It's just going to be it's going to be a cold Saskatchewan evening tomorrow.
Brisk. It just dawned on me. I don't have the proper footwear for tomorrow, so I'm going to have to start digging through totes in the garage, digging through totes and other things. I don't have the proper footwear, bro.
You're from Saskatchewan. What do you mean? I don't understand. People from Saskatchewan.
I know.
Like they're not prepared for this weather. You're from here. How are you not prepared for the weather?
I think I misplaced. A pair of boots.
You know what it's like? You know what else is annoying about it in the winter? People in Saskatchewan, how just nobody seems to know how to drive when the first snowfall hits. I don't understand that. Every single person from Saskatchewan should be really good at driving in this weather. And in fact, it's the absolute opposite. People in Saskatchewan and Regina, when a snowstorm hits, they act like they've never been behind the wheel of a vehicle, not just a car, a vehicle, a Tyco play toy, a go-kart. It's crazy out here. I'm from Ontario, and I'm always blown away by people from Saskatchewan not being prepared for the elements. And Barney, I'm really shocked at hearing this from you, man. I'm actually disappointed. You of all people, I think, should have the footwear.
It's more of a misplaced thing. It's me being absent-minded a bit, and it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take the weather to turn to shake your head at Saskatchewan drivers. I was on Ring Road yesterday. That left lane, I think we should have a branding campaign. The Sportscage should just have a branding campaign. If you are getting passed and you're in the left lane, you're doing it wrong.
You know, here's the deal. And people aren't going to like this, okay? But this is what I believe. If I was to ever take a run at being premier of this great province,
you heard it here first.
The first policy I would enact, or I would pass with my government, would be that everybody, once they hit the age of 55, has to take a mandatory driving test every single year.
55
every year.
We're not that far from that, Luke. 55.
Yeah, but I'm okay with it. I'm not going to be worried about my driving condition when I'm 55, 60. It's the other folks that, so every single year you will be mandated to take a driver's test. And probably in the winter at that. And every year. In the winter time.
Parallel parking. Let's get the parallel parking down again.
You have to turn off. Unless you have soon we're going to be having automated vehicles, right? And by then, if I was still the premier, what I would do then was I would mandate the fact that everybody who's over 55 has to have an automatic driving wheel. Like they just take the license away and you have to be behind. You just have to be carted around by your automatic car the rest of your life. I'm keeping the streets safe.
55's aggressive. 55.
Just Bins will run out of content if I was the premier because we'd be so safe on the roads. No accidents whatsoever.
If you become premier, you know what the only thing that I need you to mandate? Put up a sign. Anyway, the big highways coming into the province. I said this in the summer. Saskatchewan, golf rule. Any golf course in Saskatchewan. I don't care what course it is. All bunkers are rake in place. You can rake and then place your ball in a bunker because our bunkers are so inconsistent in Saskatchewan. I think it should be a law. Can you make that happen if you get into office?
I'll consider that, Barney, but I'm going to need a hefty donation from you if we're going to consider that. You'd have to donate to the party.
I'm your bottle drive guy. I'm your jube salesman. I'm whatever you need. Okay, let's finish off the sprinkle of the day. For Sports Select, like I said, you can go to your Lotto Spot retailer with the QR code, scan it, boom, cash in hand. Must be 18 plus to play and play responsibly. We did have earlier Colin, shout out Colin in Yorkton, Pierogieville. He says, here's my parlay tonight. Detroit Red Wings win, Winnipeg Jets win, Detroit Pistons -8, guaranteed winner. I don't know enough about basketball. You're a Pistons guy?
No, I'm a Raptors guy. I was a Kobe guy until Kobe was no longer with us, and then I went back to being a Raptors guy. I've always been a Raptors guy. Obviously, growing up in that area and seeing the Raptors in the Sky Dome for the first time when we were an expansion team and going from there. But you know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Barney. It's just right now it's too early for basketball season and hockey season for me. I'm kind of just enveloped in the CFL right now and the NFL. And, I need a couple months to make this transition. I'm still hurting as a Toronto Blue Jays fan with the way that we dropped Game 7. So it's gonna be a transition period for me, man. But right now I'm enjoying the CFL.
Okay, let's get to our game here and Nathan Rourke, defensive side of the ball. What are the keys for the Riders?
The Riders got to prevent the big play. I actually think that this game comes down to both defenses. I think that the defense that can stop the big play is going to win, and it's a very weird dynamic to me. I think that the BC Lions have an amazing talent pool defensively. Like, they're talented, right? I think Saskatchewan's talented as well, but I think Saskatchewan has the better scheme. Mike Benavides, man, I'm excited to see how he rolls out his scheme against the Riders. I know what we saw out of Trevor Harris a few weeks ago when BC was here at the last part of the game. When Trevor Harris was in the game, he was slicing them up. So I think Mike Benavides has to have something awesome prepared. I think he's completely capable of doing that. But if there's a game where they need literally a massive lift from their coaches up and down that BC Lions squad, it's tomorrow, because the Saskatchewan Roughriders are also fielding probably their best roster I've seen since very early on in the year. I couldn't believe that Trayvon Tate was in the lineup. Trayvon Tate was having an NFL quality year for the Saskatchewan Roughriders before. He was their best offensive lineman. And this is an offensive line that has 3 all-stars, Hardrick, Brammer, and Ferland. Trayvon Tate was the best guy before he got hurt. When I saw that roster, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. So I'm pumped up to see it.
And what else jumps out at you as we look, if you're watching the stream and we look at the depth chart for tomorrow that's been released, what else jumps out? Is it CJ Rivas starting at safety? Did you think maybe Lacombo there?
I think that In the playoffs, you've got to put your best guys on the field. You've got to find a way to get the best guys in. And and Revis is a tremendously talented player. So having him on the field in some way, shape, or form is a good thing, right? Because the other thing is, I mean, you've got to have Antoine Brooks Jr. on the field too. That guy's a baller, man. He's made plays every single time he's touched the field, so you can't take him off. So you find a way to get your guy. And here's the other thing too. I mean, this is a team, and I've said this for the last few weeks. Jeremy O'Day has not gotten enough credit for the Canadian talent he's got at the wide receiver spot. It has helped them when it's come to rolling out the ratio in other spots. I mean, if you look at it, you've got Schaefer Baker, you've got Neal, you've got Emelis, all able to start. You've got Del Duncan Busby as well, right? Like, you can play talented guys at the and that has allowed them to be flexible in other spots. It's unheard of to keep a guy like CJ Revis at the starting safety spot, an American, right? That's primarily a Canadian position. But when you have the type of talent in other position groups and you're allowed to flex the ratio, I mean, that's and we always talk about it, right? You got to have the best Canadians to win a Grey Cup. I think that J.O.'s done a great job. And today's roster, that announcement, I mean, it was one of the reasons why it looks the way it looks is because this team has been able to make agile decisions when it comes to their depth chart.
Would you be absolutely shocked if we don't see a steady dose of Ouellette and probably Bertrand Houdon early?
Well, if you want to be successful tomorrow, you have to be who you are. And who you are is an offense that runs through number 45. Period. That's it. This offense runs through number 45. He's been fantastic this year. He's stayed healthy, and they have won every single time he's played at a high level. That offensive line blocks tremendously well for him. I think Mark Mueller has schemed up some really good obviously some really good plays in tough spots, but AJ Ouellette's been fantastic, and everything runs from there, right? And you're able to control the tempo of the game. You're able to control the momentum. You're able to keep a very talented BC Lions offense off the field if you're stringing drives together. And that all comes through being able to run the football and be a physical football team. That's this offense's identity. It runs through number 45. It has all year. And so, no, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw a massive dosage of AJ Ouellette. I think that's how you win the football game.
Steve on the YouTube chat just said, well, almost what I was going to say, Robustelli is a great replacement for Keyshawn, awesome route runner, has good size and hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really pumped up to see Robustelli on the roster because obviously when he left the last time we saw him, he was having some struggles physically, right? I mean, he was injured, and so it was one of those deals where you didn't necessarily know if he was going to make it back. And the fact that he's on the roster, actually, it takes a little bit of the onus off not having Keyshawn Johnson, because if there's any guy that you'd want on the roster after Keyshawn Johnson, it is Robustelli. Right, he's a big play guy, and I would expect to see. But that's the thing, right? Like, he's a big play guy because you might get a jump when you run the play action pass, when you run the RPO, right? Everybody's got to account for AJ Ouellette and what the Riders decide to do, every single time they look like they're handing it off, and then you go from there. And by that time, Robustelli's managed to get downfield. He's a big body. He can catch the 50-50 ball. So I was pumped to see him. Obviously, you're not going to replace Keyshawn Johnson, but I mean, if you have a guy like Robustelli on the roster, that's as good as anything.
Probability of us seeing a trick play earlier, and what team would it come from?
Oh, I think that, I think that if you're the Riders, you don't need any tricks. It's what I liked about, and again, Trevor Harris, everybody's talking about the bulletin board material. I think that you are what you are at this point, and you don't need to sit there and try to trick the BC Lions. I think that what you have to do this game, though, is you've really got to listen out. If you're on special teams, if you're on defense, you've got to listen out for those words that you haven't heard before. Excuse me. You played the BC Lions a couple times, but there are things that the BC Lions and the Saskatchewan Roughriders, for that fact, have put on film that you can gradually make another, you can make something else happen off of that play, right? And, in the playoffs, when you need momentum, when you need a big play, those are the times that teams pull out the second thing based off of, a successful package or play that they roll out. So again, as a defensive player, you got to be listening out for words that you haven't heard, especially on special teams. If this is anything from the BC Lions, I mean, they have a good special team. I mean, they won the game based on special teams against Calgary, right? So that's going to have to be a big piece of the puzzle for them. Again, if I'm hearing some things that I'm not used to the BC Lions saying, I've got my antennas up and I'm looking for something weird to happen.
If you hear tippy toe or hoochie mama, that's their
no,
code
like
words.
if you're used to but you know what? It's I mean, I don't think they're going to say hoochie mama, right? But I think that
that's your Seinfeld fans.
Yeah, totally. If you do hear something or you see something weird, but at the same time too, if you're the Riders, the exact looks that you want to run something off of too. One of the things that I've really liked, especially out of our short yardage offense, is the things that we could have ran off of the things that we've shown. We've been a team on short yardage, especially with the way they've been motioning the wings, right? You can run those big guys out into the flat. Like if I'm down 5 and BC's playing their tail off, right? Like, man, maybe the concept in the back of my mind where Ali Saad, every team's used to seeing him block as a motioning wing, all of a sudden he leaks out into the flat. Like those are the moments that you possibly think about rolling those out. So I think that if anybody surprises or tries anything crazy, I think that it'll be the BC Lions first. But again, if I'm the Riders and I see a look that I've been looking for all year, and I can get to that play, I do it. Why not, right? Put it on film. Who cares? Let's go get a win.
I asked Schultz this in hour 2, and when you have a game like this where the weather, BC's coming in, and I know some people were messaging us saying it's been cold in BC this week, and I'm like, give your head a shake. It hasn't been cold. Tomorrow's going to be cold. Yeah. If you're playing in a game like this, Luke,
they had to wear a sweater in BC.
Deep V-neck. Yeah. Okay, so if you're playing in a game like this and it's cold, you're on the field, you're revved up, you're here, you get it, you've been here, all that. Are you looking over there and you going to one of those guys and going, oh, it's getting to that guy. That guy is rattled. The game hasn't even started. Look how cold he is.
Yeah. You might see some signs in the warm-up, right? The warm-up is usually where the guys, but you know what? I mean, listen, you have to give tremendous respect to the BC Lions and the journey that they've gone through as well this year, right? And I know that there's not a lot of people giving the BC Lions a chance. And I think that that's the first mistake that you can make, is not giving the BC Lions a chance. But the one thing that I would be preparing for, or at least I would be talking about in my meeting rooms, is the fact that you're playing this game in Saskatchewan. You know what I mean? Like, guys, it's going to be colder, right? We're going to be out in the elements. You need to mentally prepare for that type of thing. I mean, yeah, you don't know it until it hits you, until you get out there in warm-ups. And there's going to be a few guys that, you can see that don't necessarily like the cold. But these guys are professional footballs, and a lot of the professional football players. And a lot of these guys have played in cold weather games before, right? You're a pro. Like, man, literally on the other side of this game is the championship game. There is only 9 teams in this league, and it's damn near impossible to get yourself a Grey Cup ring. We've seen some of the greatest players in this league play for over 15 years, and some of them don't have a Grey Cup ring. And there are only 9 teams in the league. You know how hard it is to win a Grey Cup championship? Man, you do everything that you possibly can, and you block anything out that you need to win this game, because this game gets you to that land that not a lot of players get to at the end of their careers.
Anybody with this color tarp on right now, or this emblem, knows how hard it is to win. Any fan in this province, right?
We got 4 championships.
We only have 4 of them up in that place. Andrew
Mike
Harris.
McCullough and Neil Hughes have half of them. J.O.'s got half of them. Richie Hall has 75% of the Grey Cup championships in this organization, right? Like, I got 1, but man, like, it ain't. There's not a lot of rings. You look at some of the other franchises in this, there's a lot of rings in Edmonton. There's a lot of rings in Hamilton, right? A lot of rings in Toronto. But guess what? None of that matters, right? None of that matters. Tomorrow is all that matters, and I think that the Riders have a really good chance to win it. I think the BC Lions are going to have a Herculean effort from their coaching staff and their players to get out of Mosaic Stadium with a W. It's going to be tough for them, but I don't put it past them. I think that they are able to win this game if they get the right opportunities. You can't sleep on the Lions.
You know I like how you always dress. I'm always commenting on your gear, right? So what do you got tomorrow? What are you dressing up in tomorrow?
Oh, you know what? I haven't really made that decision yet. Obviously, my Colin O'Brien's coat that I've had for a while is going to have to be broken out. That thing's a Lamborghini, though, man. It looks sweet, you know. So, I got a few button-ups that I'm looking at. I might go with a long sleeve and one of my sport coats, but you know what, man? I'm just pumped. I've been in this situation, man. I played in 3 Grey Cups, and I know what some of these guys are thinking tonight. I know what some of these guys are. It's such an exciting, exhilarating feeling, man. It's the energy that you have, as a player and as a coach right now, just to get to the game. I'm so thrilled for these guys. They've worked so hard to get here, and hopefully all goes well for them tomorrow.
You're wearing a toque on that head, but what did you call it?
It's a Scully. Listen, let me tell you something. Toque is okay.
No, okay? It's toque.
Toque is okay.
Hey, remember where you are. Bunny hug country. Toque.
No, that's what we need to talk about. That's another thing. That's another mandate is if Luke Mullinder ever gets to be a premier.
Okay.
It is no longer a bunny hug. It is a hoodie, and you will address it as such, or guess what? Jail. Straight to PA. Jail.
It's straight to PA.
Jail.
What a way to end it. Okay, I'll catch you tomorrow. I'll be wearing a toque as well.
Hey, man, go Riders, man. Rider Nation, get to the game early. Be loud.
Yeah.
And let's roll, man. You guys, if there's any advantage tomorrow that the Riders are going to be leaning on, it's Rider Nation. So, man, get there early, get loud, take advantage of the $5 beers or whatever you need to do. But you need to be loud. We need to hear you. Now, you know who else is pumped? Luther's pumped, man. He can't wait to get to the game.
That's it. That's right. We'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate you.
Let's go.
Get your bunny hug on. There he is. Future premier of our province, Luke Mullinder, joining us on the Western Pizza guest hotline tonight.
Every year.
What's that?
55 and older. Every year. Driver's test. Every single year. See y'all later.
See you tomorrow. What a beauty. Oh, that was a segment. That was a segment and a half right there. If you missed the beginning of it when he's talking about people, if he becomes premier, that's the tease. Right there. That was good. Western Pizza tonight. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings. All the Greek favorites you like. Visit your Western Pizza. All right, we have coming up Coach Mark McConkey of the University of Regina Rams as they get set for the Huskies. Also, we're going to hear from Farhan Lalji. Again, it is a Sports Cage, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. We're the big dogs. I'm not here to talk about Nathan Rourke. I think it's our time. We're the big dogs. I think it's our time. We're the big dogs. It's our time.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
Thank you, Rider Nation. The Riders Foundation 50-50 jackpots have been massive this season, and it's all thanks to you. When you buy your 50-50, you're supporting amateur football across the province. It's playoff time, and like the games, the 50-50 gets bigger in the playoffs. Can we get it to $1 million, Rider Nation? Maybe higher. Don't get hit with regret. Buy your 50-50 tickets at ridersfiftyfifty.ca and go Riders.
Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC. Lottery license LR250011. If you have a garage door that's running a little rough, you should really have Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists, come out and repair it. Or it may need to be replaced altogether. Yeah, just call Busy Bee Doors. The local experts who have been in the business for many, many years because they can fix or replace any commercial or garage door.
Honey, calling Busy Bee.
Good idea. Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality.
In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes.
Or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Affordability in Canada is getting worse. Canadians are now paying nearly half their paycheck towards taxes. That's more than on food, clothing, and shelter combined. It's unacceptable. Conservatives stand with hardworking Canadians and will take aim at the affordability crisis by bringing down taxes, cutting spending towards needless bureaucracy and consultants, and fight for fiscal discipline in this Liberal government. My name is Warren Steinley, your Conservative Member of Parliament for Regina Luban, and I will always be on Saskatchewan's side.
Paid ad by Warren Steinley.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Okay, tomorrow, what we know, Saskatchewan Roughriders, BC Lions, out of the lineup for our Riders. Keyshawn Johnson, Joe, also Mitchell Picton as far as receivers go. Philippe Gagnon also not playing tomorrow on the offensive line, and it looks like CJ Rivas will be starting at safety over Nelson Lacombo. Game can be heard right here, of course, on 620 CKRM. Speaking of games on 620 CKRM, tonight, Regina Pats hosting the Red Deer Rebels, 6:30 right here. If you're going to the game, puck drop is at 7 o'clock under the orange top. Other Saskatchewan teams, Moose Jaw's in Saskatoon. Swift Current welcomes Calgary, and Prince Albert is in Spokane. SJHL tonight, Kindersley Clippers in Warmer to take on the Wolverines. Weyburn welcomes Melville. Interesting matchup there. And then Yorkton travels into the Battlefords. Saskatchewan Junior Female Hockey League. The Taylor Toyota Lynx are up against the Regina Wild. 8:15 puck drop in that one. Prairie Junior Hockey League. Pilot Butte is at Carrot River, 7:30. And Fort Knox travels into Moosomin to take on the Steelhawks at 8 p.m. Canadian Mixed Curling Championship going on in Assiniboia. Regina's Jason Ackerman representing Saskatchewan. They're up against Manitoba at 6 p.m. this evening. National Hockey League, Canadian teams, Calgary welcomes Chicago, and Winnipeg travels to San Jose. That's the Sports Ticker in hour 3 for Regina Steelcraft Doors. Made in Western Canada for Western Canada. You need a garage door. They have it at their new 40,000 square foot facility, Regina Steelcraft Doors. Back out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Here we go. He's joining us. Head coach of the Regina Rams, Mark McConkey. Another Hardy Cup, eh? This is becoming like old hat for you.
Yeah, we hope it's the norm every year moving forward. I know last year we were excited to be in it, and this year it's, again, a lot of similarities. We're used to it. We've been here before, so it's, hopefully we can do it every year.
People are gutted. Talked to Mason Nice yesterday, even him, for Marshall Erickson. What's the message to the team when you see a guy like that, just heart and soul, had a great year, go down?
Yeah, he's the heartbeat of the offense, leader on the team. But again, you feel for him, right? Tough injury like that requires surgery. But again, all year we've done a great job of next man up. And I know obviously Marshall's got big shoes to fill. But if you look at last year, the Hardy Cup, Marshall played in it, but Katende carried the load. And so again, we know Christian can do it. We got the guys around him. We got the big guys up front. So we'll be just fine. And we definitely want to win this one extra more now for Marshall.
Is it one of those things, Coach, when it comes to football, and you never want an injury like that, but now the team, your opponent's got to pivot a bit. And okay, so what are the tendencies now of Katende? Although he did have a great year last year, like you said, a lot of teams saw him last year, but it's maybe a little bit wrinkle for them to kind of, okay, now we got to kind of revamp things a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Again, he is a different style of running back. So we got different run plays that we like with Katende more than we did with Marsh. So again, they're going to have to pivot a little bit, but again, they know what kind of back he is, so it's no real surprise here.
The Huskies, they've kind of gone through a little bit of the injury thing on their own, and they got a different quarterback in. How are you preparing for their offense?
Yeah, I mean, they got Daniel Weed. They got one of the best receivers, the conference MVP. They got a great running back in Riker Frank, good old line. So Jake's good. He's their quarterback. He's a good player. He's not Anton, obviously. Doesn't have that gunslinger arm, but he can move and he can use his feet. So he does actually bring more to the table than Anton when it comes to the run game. So we got to be ready to make sure we got our linebackers in check to make sure when he does take off that we do corral him and contain him and don't let him run for 50 yards.
Yeah, no, for sure. And especially on the prairies on a Saturday in November where, looking at the forecast, it doesn't look that bad. It ain't going to be warm, that's for sure. But probably not so much the elements. Two Saskatchewan teams going at it here. They know what it's going to be like out.
Yeah, it's like we're not playing a team from BC or out east or anything like that. So we went there today. The field was covered in snow, so I think they're getting it cleaned off. But it's going to be like -5, -6. So nothing like cold, but nothing that a lot of our players haven't played in before. So I don't think that'll be a factor.
What's the message? What are you coaches talking about? What's the message to the coaches going into this one?
Yeah, again, we're just excited. I mean, I was talking to the players. We had a lunch today after the press conference, and they're like, how great would it be to beat U of S 2 years in a row in the Hardy Cup and at their own stadium, like back-to-back. And I know that's something that they definitely don't want to avoid. And again, it seems like, I don't know, all the pressure's on them again, just like it was last year as it is this year. So, yeah, we're just excited to go compete, and we feel confident that we got a good game plan going in, and we trust our players, and hopefully we can just go execute.
That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to watching it. I think it's going to be one of the best watches of the weekend for sure. Get some good sleep tonight, Coach, up there, and best of luck tomorrow. Appreciate you hopping on again.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, as always.
Right on. Rams head coach Mark McConkey goes down tomorrow. We'll have it right here on 620 CKRM if you're not making the trip up. Intriguing matchup for sure. It is a Sportscage. We're the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
Thank you, Rider Nation. The Riders Foundation 50/50 jackpots have been massive this season, and it's all thanks to you. When you buy your 50/50, you're supporting amateur football across the province. It's playoff time, and like the games, the 50/50 gets bigger in the playoffs. Can we get it to $1 million, Rider Nation? Maybe higher. Don't get hit with regret. Buy your 50/50 tickets at riders5050.ca and go Riders.
Riders 50/50 is presented by ISC. Lottery license LR250011.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality.
In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes.
Or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
You say,
come on, yeah.
And your cows say,
moo.
So you tell